Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens will help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Craig Weckner, Zach Lopez, Darren Perry, Nick Saunders, Craig Smith, Will Torres, Jimmy Williamson, and Shane Lee.
Washington State got two teams going after it tonight, one of which hasn't been to the playoffs in quite a bit of time, in 12 years now for Snohomish. The other team in Garfield coming off a state semifinal appearance last year and trying to build on that this week. And good evening, everyone. I just want to introduce myself. I'm David Gillespie. Alongside with me, my broadcast partner in Luke Winsor. And Luke, it's do or die tonight for these two teams in this Week 10 playoff. Tell us a little bit about what's going through the minds of these players as they're getting ready for this game, so anxiously trying to prove themselves as a state contender.
Well, there's obviously going to be a little bit more emotion, anxiousness, nerves going into any type of playoff game. But what's key is get that first hit out of the way, get that first play out of the way, and settle down and just start playing football. You don't want to make it too any bigger than it has to be. Just go out, start playing football, and obviously it's going to be in the back of your mind that if we lose, we're done. But if you just don't play football, don't relax, execute the game plan, that gives you the best chance to succeed.
And Snohomish, again, trying to get into the state playoffs rather for the first time in the last 11 years, correction, as opposed to 12, as I said earlier. They got some special players on that offensive line, and namely in Carter Cole at their right guard position, but they also got that 1-2 punch out of the backfield in Tyler Messina and Tyler Larson. What would you say has been their biggest reason for success this year when you look at their offense?
I think it's been the fact that with Larson and Messina, they're two very different backs. Larson's the grinded out 5 yards, and since we're playing on field turf, 5 yards in a cloud of black rubber pellets. Then Messina, he's lightning in a bottle. He can hit you for a big play anytime he touches the ball. And they also like to line him up as a slot receiver as well, get involved in the passing game. Just the fact that they mix things up enough between the two of them, it's hard to key on any one guy, because the moment the defense starts flowing towards one of them, the other will hurt you.
You can see the Snohomish Panthers taking the field the first time tonight. Garfield, meanwhile, on the other hand, like I said, went to the state playoffs last year, ended up losing in the state semifinals to Rainier Beach, one of their metro rivals. It was in 49-21. How do they find their rhythm tonight, trying to get back into the hunt for the state championship next week?
Well, it's really dependent on the guys who were on the team last year to sort of help the newcomers on the squad find that rhythm, find that feeling, and that sense of, hey, we can beat anybody. Because in the state quarterfinals last year, they beat perennial state power Eastside Catholic, which I don't think anyone really gave them much of a chance to do so. So if they kind of recapture that feeling, they'll have a chance. But based on who we saw not suited up for pregame warmups, that'll be a little bit harder, as 5-star outside linebacker recruit, and he's only a junior, Savell Smalls, was not suited up for Garfield tonight.
And as you said, they beat Eastside Catholic in the quarterfinal matchup 13-10 after beating Lincoln 44-41 before, of course, losing to Rainier Beach in that semifinal. And you also had attested about Savell Smalls, one of their key players, I mean, probably the key player in the state of Washington going into next year, as he's the #1 recruit in the state and the #3 recruit in the entire nation for the class of 2020. A lot of question marks about his status tonight. We did not see him leave the tunnel and approach the field to get ready for this game. How much of a loss will this be for their defense and trying to limit the Tyler boys out of the backfield for Snohomish tonight?
Well, he's a game wrecker. Someone he lines up as an outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. He'll rush the passer. In some of the highlight films I've seen him, he's not afraid to take on blockers, defeat them, make plays in the run game, and he can wreck an offensive game plan in just a matter of a few snaps. So for him not to be out there, that really changes things, not just for their defense, but also for Snohomish's offense.
And we're going to take a quick commercial break before we come back with the start of this exciting matchup. We'll be right back here on STSPN.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's play some flag!
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're getting set for this Week 10 playoff between Snohomish Panthers and Garfield Bulldogs. And I'm David Gillespie, alongside with me is Luke Winsor. Luke, they changed up the system this year with them creating 3 committees to determine one for the Beast divisions in the state of Washington, one for 1A and 2A, and one for 3A and 4A, where 3 committees will determine, made up of administrators, current coaches, and former coaches and media members, to determine the seeding for the state playoffs as opposed to the random draw. How do you feel that will serve up this year with the way it can be fair for the matchups?
Well, the hope is that they'll actually be able to separate the top teams from each other, so you're not seeing a matchup between 2 teams that really could be in the finals in a quarterfinal matchup. So hopefully they get it right. It's the first year of using this system, so there's probably more questions than there are answers right now. I know in years past in this game, you knew where the winner of this game would, what spot on the bracket on the state bracket they'd go to, and you knew who they'd get the winner of whatever game is happening elsewhere in the state. Now we don't know, and we won't know who the winner of this game will be playing until probably Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how this unfolds, how the seeding will take place next week. But of course, we got to get through this matchup first before we jump to a conclusion about what will take place in the state tournament next week. But yeah, it looks like the teams are both getting ready to start this one off. An exciting win or go home matchup tonight. A lot of people may be scratching their heads as to why Garfield was able to qualify at 3 and 6 right now. It's a little complicated. Basically, there's a Week 10 playoff that allows teams from the Metro League to vie for the state playoffs despite their record if they're playing in a strong division as Garfield is in the Metro League, where they're in the Metro Mountain League. And as a result, they're able to...
Onside kick.
Looks like, yeah, they were going for the onside kick. And we'll see who comes up with a possession. And it looks
Garfield
like
says they have
Garfield has the possession. And what a way to start off this Week 10 playoff.
Hey, when you feel like you're the underdog, why not pull out all the stops and go for it? And
they are giving the possession to the Garfield Bulldogs. What a start for Joey Thomas in this one early on.
Bit of a gamble again. When you're the underdog, you go ahead. What do you have to lose? You're not like if you lose today, you're not. It's not that you're saving that play for next week. So go for it, empty out the playbook, and see what happens.
As I was saying earlier, being 3 and 6, qualifying for the postseason, it's a way to make it easier for those teams who struggle while having to play tougher competition.
Yeah, they weight the divisions in the Metro. They're in the same division as Eastside Catholic and O'Day, and do we really need to mention anybody else?
Yeah, there you go. So that's how that works, and that's why we're seeing them in this do-or-die playoff game. The winner, of course, going on to the state tournament, the loser going home. As Garfield takes the field offensively. Wade out of the shotgun. And he's going to hand it off to his receiver on a jet sweep where he breaks a tackle and gets to the outside and brought down out of bounds at approximately the 34-yard line.
They empty out the formation, then give it to Rodriguez Green on a fly sweep. And he did a good job breaking a couple tackles, but before Snohomish was able to corral him down. But he got the edge, and that's something for Snohomish they really need to shore up. They cannot give up the edge, allow running backs when they run outside to turn up the field.
Again, Wade out of the shotgun. Or the pistol, rather. Gives the ball to number 32. Breaks a couple tackles. Trucking his way down inside the 15-yard line. And what a run from Garfield right there.
And that was Eric Savelio. And he looks like a bowling ball. He's 5'10", 200 pounds, tough to tackle, and he broke about 3 tackles there and just ran over anyone in red that he saw.
Again out of the pistol with a handoff. Again to Savelio, up the middle. He gets down inside the 5-yard line for another big gain, and they're really taking it to the Snohomish team on the ground thus far to start off this quarter.
I think they caught Snohomish off guard a little bit with that surprise onside kick, and the Panthers are still trying to recover from that, and Garfield is taking full advantage.
And Tate again,
Flag.
trying to hand it off to Savelio, but unable to execute. Looks like a penalty was called on the play. Looks like a potential false start on the Garfield Bulldogs. That will bring them back another 5 yards.
And I'll give the Snohomish defense maybe a bit of a breather, a chance to regroup and shake off the cobwebs from that surprise onside kick.
Javonte out of the pistol with another handoff to Savelio. And he's brought down, and Snohomish finally sniffing out their play calling on that one. Constant handoffs to Savelio, and they're able to come up with a big stop right there.
Much better play by the Snohomish defense. Langdon Orgill leading the way on that tackle. And Orgill's an interesting story. Last year, he was the starting quarterback. This year, they're playing him at defense. It looks like an outside linebacker.
Yeah, still serving as the backup quarterback. But again, getting his fair share of action on the defenses. Savelio gets another carry and brought down yet again by Snohomish.
Great play there at the point of attack by the Snohomish Panther defense. Really just giving the running back for Garfield no room to run. And
looks like that was Hunter Philibom on the play. The big stop.
Sets up a 3rd and long, and we have yet to see Garfield put the ball in the air yet. So we'll see what Javonte can do with his arm here.
Looks like there's a bit of a miscommunication between the refs right there, and they're able to sort that out. 4th down and 6 on the Snohomish 14-yard line for this Garfield Bulldogs offense.
And wholesale change. Maybe Garfield will be attempting a field goal here.
Looks like they are. Tate heads out along with a few other key offensive personnel off to the sideline for the kicking unit.
A 31-yard kick straight away between the hashes.
This is a tough kick for a lot of high school field goal kickers, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to get this one in and get the first score on the board for this Week 10 playoff. And the snap. Hold look good, but it's blocked by Snohomish. And a big stop defensively with this Panthers team to start it off. Unbelievable.
I want to see that. I want to see who we maybe got.
Looked like that may have been Grady Kench.
Yeah,
I thought got his hands on that one.
Yeah, it looked like either, if not him, then someone in the line. But that also looked like the kick came out low to begin with, so it could have even went off a Garfield lineman. But great response by the Snohomish defense after that surprise onside and the long runs by Aurelio to stand firm, get a stop, force a field goal, and then the field goal gets blocked.
Tate Conover out of the gun, hands it off to Messina. And he may have gained about 5 on the play. Snohomish trying to pick up some momentum after that key turnover.
This little, looks like power off the left side and decent gain on 1st down. And No, Garfield was not trying to do anything tricky. No Savell Smalls. He is not going to be playing tonight.
It appears he's wasn't on the offensive unit, nor is he on the defensive unit thus far, so it appears he is scratched off for the night.
I've seen teams have a guy in street clothes in pregame warm, and then when he come out after that.
I was just about to say, but we can't be too sure of ourselves because they could bring him out later on as Jacob Brandvold is able to be connected. He's able to connect on that one with the catch from Tate.
Just a quick little wide receiver screen. And credit the Garfield defensive back there, number 24, for defeating his blocker and making the tackle. That was their rosters will do it. Marcus Cole. They did their roster in alphabetical order by last name, not by numbers. So it's a little different.
Brandvold making his impact in the last matchup for Snohomish against Squalicum with a key touchdown in the first half, running a go route that really changed the momentum for Snohomish. As Snohomish running the ball again there.
Like it was Larson.
Looks like it was Tyler Larson on the carry. Not much of a gain. And just because of that Garfield defense.
That Garfield front, they play a 3-4, and that front three does a good job occupying blockers and allowing the linebackers behind them to make the play. And in the middle of that defense, it looked like they have a number 72 or 74. We'll find him in a sec.
Conover with the keeper off the read option. Looks like he gets the first down on that one. Big gain for the quarterback.
Potentially a generous spot there just because it wasn't quite a head first slide. It wasn't a feet first slide. So it was tough to, because on a feet first slide, the referees will mark the ball where the quarterback gives himself up, not where he ends up. But he kind of went sideways there, so that was enough for the first down.
Conover talking about how blessed he felt having Messina and Larson out of the backfield, but we saw a couple key carries from last week coming from him and expecting him to contribute in that fashion as well tonight.
And Larson ran into a wall of white shirts there, and led by number 74. He's not on the roster, but he's hard to miss.
Yeah, he's a big boy right there down in the middle, the nose tackle position. Garfield pretty quiet about their starting lineups tonight, about who was playing and who wasn't.
They did not want that information to be let out by anybody.
So we're adjusting accordingly. Looks like Larson on the carry to the outside, and he may have gained about 3 on the plate. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Snohomish offense.
And good job by the Garfield front. They're kind of stalemating the Snohomish offensive line, which we haven't seen much of that happening this season. And they didn't give Larson any room to cut it upfield, and he stretched it out to the sidelines and didn't get much.
It'll be interesting to see if this Garfield defense go with their traditional defensive scheme. They play a lot of cover 3, but it'll be interesting to see if they'll drop any down in the box to stop that 1-2 punch out of the run game in Messina and Larson.
And Snohomish coming out in a trip set, which they have not shown this year, so there's something new.
And he gets the connection, it seems, with Tyler Messina. Conover does, but a loss of yardage will make it 4th down and long.
And that ball actually hit the ground first, but they're going to say backwards pass, so good thing that Messina fell on it.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure on that one if he was able to connect, but a questionable decision if you're going to, even though it's 1 yard of loss, questionable decision to make that catch when you knew that there was Garfield defense everywhere on that play.
Well, it was a backwards pass, so he had to get on it.
Oh, that's true, of course. Yeah, it being a backwards pass could result in a fumble. And Snohomish punts this one away. Ooh. And a big hit right there from Snohomish. Looks like that was Xavier Johnson on the hit. What a hit, and what a tone for this Snohomish defense, setting it, including special teams thus far.
I think next time there's a wild punt that's on the ground like that the Garfield returner may rethink.
Yeah, they may be questioning whether or not to field that one.
He make what the pros call a business decision.
Yeah, there you go. Good analogy. Garfield trying to redeem themselves on this drive from that mishap in the blocked field goal as Tate hands it off, but it looks like a
they
false
were not
start
set. They got to the line real quick, and then they weren't set long enough, so it's going to be illegal procedure.
Or illegal procedure, rather.
Well, illegal procedure, false start, illegal formation, it's all the same.
Yeah, all the same.
Hand motion by the
hand motion and hand signal. That will move it back another 5 yards for Garfield, who's having a rough time trying to set the tone offensively.
After their first couple plays, they have not been able to do much sense. So give credit to the Snohomish defense for tightening the screws a little bit.
And Tade, the quarterback, Von Tade,
nice snap.
with a handoff right here. And a big run to the outside. And it looks like he gets down to about the 48-yard line in Snohomish territory. That time, looks like it was Isaiah Kennard on the carry.
And Messina with a tackle there potentially prevented the first down from happening.
And they're running the hurry-up offense with another carry by Kennard, who breaks to the outside with a big run. Down inside the 15-yard line is Isaiah Kennard for this Bulldogs offense.
And Garfield may have found something here where they get to the line in a hurry. They wait the second that they have to, then they snap it quick. And they're running to the same side as the two slot receivers. The Snohomish defense will be stretched out just a little bit, creating a little extra running room for the running backs. But it's coming back. There's a penalty.
Costly penalty will wipe that one away for Garfield, who was hoping to get a break on that big carry, because outside of that, it hasn't been much going. There hasn't been much going for this Garfield offense.
A hold, and that's a potential drive killer right there.
That bring it back down to the 45-yard line, or 45-yard line for this Garfield offense. Back in their own territory, hurrying up again with Javon Tade. This time a toss to the outside. That one to Rodriguez Green for the carry, but he's only able to gain about what looked to be 2 or 3 yards on the play. Garfield will face third down.
Much better job of the Snohomish defense forcing Green to go laterally first. By the time he was able to get upfield, he was too close to the sidelines to do much.
We're seeing Snohomish really pick up the physicality in this game early on defensively, which they're more so known for their power run game out of the offense, especially with Larson contributed a lot last week. Is Snohomish making a big stop again, forcing a fourth down against this Garfield team.
Just a straight dive to the fullback there out of the pistol, and it was Braden Ulrich, the freshman linebacker, read that all the way and made the tackle.
And Ulrich has been quite the impactful player.
And 4th and 6, and Garfield's going to go for it here.
For the Snohomish defense. And Tade fakes the handoff and connects with the receiver downfield for a first down. Tierra Monroe, who had 2 touchdown catches last week.
Out of the slot, they just run, everyone on the right side, both receivers run slant routes, and Monroe is the one who popped free.
Javon Tade had 6 touchdowns last week against Bainbridge. Coming off of an injury, now he's back, trying to find his rhythm that he had last week, where he was able to connect left and right, suffocating that Bainbridge defense.
Just a little hitch route on the outside, and good throw, good catch, and the receiver does a good job turning to the outside, so he gets up a one-on-one scenario there with the cornerback.
That time to Vitravion Garner on the catch. He's got quite a bit of weapons. It's hard to really look at one guy. You got Tierra Monroe, of course. You got Quentin Jordan. You got a plethora of players on that offense, and it looks like they will be calling a potential false start on this. Yep.
Someone moved early.
On this Garfield offense.
Well, Garfield, it's kind of a funny shift. They shift their running back from the pistol to more of the traditional sidecar look in a shotgun. And I think that may have, and he wasn't set for very long when they snapped the ball, and then also the right tackle for Garfield got out of the stance a little bit early too, so we had players moving all over the place.
Yeah.
This isn't Canada.
Number 59 for Garfield with the false start. And Tay dropping back to pass, but unable to connect with his guy on that one, Tierra Monroe. And Garfield trying to figure things
Yeah,
out
Monroe-
offensively right now.
Monroe's on a drag right across the middle. Ball's a little bit behind him, but he's going to say he should have caught that.
Yeah, those passes, it seems like you got to come down with those. It's just a matter of your hands, not having butterfingers in that situation.
No, anytime the ball hits their hands, the receiver will say they should have caught it.
There you go. And it looks like a big stop for Snohomish. Almost a loss of yardage, but they'll take only a 2-yard gain and force a 4th down for this Garfield offense yet again.
And if Garfield was willing to go for it in 4th and 6 on their own side of the field, I think they're going to go for it here on 4th and 8 around the Snohomish 36.
Ryan Code with a big stop right there, or at least initiating the stop, slowing the running back down, and 4th down again for Garfield. Looks like a timeout was taken for Garfield to readjust on 4th down.
I want to make sure they get on the same page and get this play right.
Tonight's game is being broadcast live all over Snohomish County.
So we're going to keep it here in the meantime. Garfield, 2nd, 4th down they faced thus far tonight.
On this drive.
On this drive, too, furthermore. Again, they had a lot of great connections offensively last week with 6 touchdown passes. Javon Tade coming off that injury where he was out for several weeks. And what have you liked from Snohomish's defense thus far tonight in limiting him?
The defensive line is doing a good job at the point of attack. They're not getting blown off the ball. They're allowing the linebackers and defensive backs behind them to come up and make plays. But what has hurt them a couple times in these first few drives is broken tackles, and that's been their Achilles heel this season. Is when their defense isn't playing well, it's because they're not tackling well.
That's all about, of course, discipline and technique, and something Snohomish hasn't been quite as thriving in defensively as they have been offensively. They've been incredibly productive out of their run game.
They're playing hard, but they just finish the play, wrap up, just get the guy on the ground.
Trips to the far side for Garfield on this 4th down. And he finds his guy, and it looks like he may have gotten the 1st down.
The official on that far side is not giving him the spot.
From my angle, it looked like, but again, we're not directly on the line, but it looked like he may have gotten it down to about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to say he's short.
And never mind, they're going to say he's short. Another big stop. Another big turnover, furthermore, from this Snohomish defense early on.
They're not even going to measure. I don't like that spot at all. I thought he at least got it close enough where they should be bringing the 6 out to measure.
That looks like they did not give him the appropriate spot on that one, because it looked like he got farther than what appears to be right now directly on the 29-yard line. And I could have sworn he got a lot closer to the 28, maybe even on the 28-yard line.
Well,
Snohomish will take the ball offensively now as a result. And Conover with a handoff to Messina on the left side. He's brought down right there for a gain of about 3 yards. That time,
trying to get Messina going off the left side, and they look like a hole right away, but then give credit to the Garfield defense. It looked like it was
Antoine Brown, number 50.
Yeah, Antoine Brown. He shed his blocker, then wrapped Messina up and brought him down hard onto the turf.
And Snohomish trying to adjust after some big key plays defensively as Larson takes it up the middle with a gain of about 4 maybe on the play.
Looked like just a trap up the middle off towards the right side, and Larson does a good job following his blocker and making it very third and reasonable here. And Snohomish has already done it once already tonight, but we might see Conover, the quarterback, keeping on a zone read, and he had a lot of success with that last week, and let's see if they can continue doing that tonight.
Conover out of their traditional pistol with a stacked max protection offensive line. And Tyler Messina gets the 1st down on that one with a hard run up the left side.
Yeah, they're in a 2 tight end set, which I think they practiced a lot this week in anticipation of Saville Smalls, but since he's not playing, but looked like a power off the left side. They pulled Carter Cole around from his right guard spot to the left and just bringing an extra blocker there, and it was enough to get the 1st down and keep this drive going for the Panthers.
we had said, Carter Cole, their key offensive lineman this far in 2018, has made a big contribution in providing holes for that run game out of the backfield. So it looks like Larson will take this carry up the middle. They'll get another 5 yards on this one.
And I think the one thing we're seeing now with Snohomish is they're being much more direct with their run game. They're not on this series. They're not doing anything to the outside or outside the tackles, because I think Garfield showed that they have some speed on that defense and they can catch up to any running back that Snohomish has going outside. So go right at speed and sort of negate that speed advantage that the Bulldogs have.
Conover with the handoff to Larson. Oh, never mind. The keeper instead. And it looks like he's going to be brought down at about the 49-yard line.
Design quarterback counter here. Fake to the back. Guard and tackle from the right side. Pull around to the left. And it was a linebacker. Looked like a linebacker from the backside who was able to get through the wash and get to Conover before he could.
The key block right there to help get some yardage in Cole Kelsey. Right tackle.
So 3rd and 2, and we might see a trap here up the middle from Larson again, or power.
And a handoff to Messina, and he's stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll make it 4th down, where presumably Snohomish will punt the ball away. It'll be interesting to see if they shift towards the agenda.
That was.
It'll be interesting to see if they shift towards the agenda of Snohomish and decide to go for it. And it looks like they will.
And that was Savelio from his linebacker spot. He read that all the way and shot that gap and made a good, strong tackle there.
Conover.
He's going to punt it, I think.
Oh, yep. They're going to drop kick it right there for.
Will it check up? Oh, it
Garfield.
might.
Wow. Down inside. Oh, and it looks like they're going to give him the touchback.
Just couldn't keep
himself before that goal line, and as a result, what looked to be a stop at the 1 yard line will instead be a touchback for this Garfield offense to get them get themselves in better field position.
I'll tell you what, Garfield, they're holding their own on defense, and when you play in a division where you have to deal with O'Day and Eastside Catholic, I don't think there's really anybody else that they could face that's going to scare them. So.
And that's the thing. They got to set that physical tone tonight defensively to combat the power that comes from Tyler Larson, because we saw him break tackles left and right against that Squalicum defense last week.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's going to shy away again this week either.
And Snomish's offensive line, which is out physical, a lot of teams they've faced this season, they're able to do that so far tonight.
Oh, and it looks like a tipped ball almost amounted to an interception again for that Snohomish defense, which would have been the 3rd turnover of the night. But Garfield gets a lucky break as no one was there to field it.
And Javonte got lucky because one of the cardinal rules for quarterback play, don't throw late or high over the middle, and that ball was high, and he was lucky that it wasn't picked off on the tip drill.
Javonte out of the pistol. And he finds his receiver, but unable to connect on that one. That was Travion Garner. We had a couple connections on the pass drive, but seemed to have a case of the butterfingers on that one.
Good route on the hitch, and Garner just took his eyes off it just at the very last second. He's looking to run with it, but you got to secure that catch first.
While Garfield runs a lot of pistol themselves, they run a lot of spread pistol, where you're going to see them pass the ball a lot more, as we saw right there, with a big stop right there from Snohomish.
Nice play by Hunter Philibom. He's lined up over the slot receiver. Lets him cross his face, but he's able to get on his hip and with his left arm knock the ball away, and he did jump with his right arm not grabbing a hold of the receiver, which would have been either a hold or a pass interference.
That was textbook man coverage right there from Hunter
and
Philibom.
I don't think Garfield is a punter. They're going for it 4th down. Oh, they're going to pooch kick it with their quarterback.
And he gets it down about, for a roll, actually down inside Snohomish territory, but they're going to still get great field position where it looks to be down at the 43-yard line. Snohomish will take the field yet again. And we're going to keep it here, or we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Welcome back here at Snohomish High School, where Larson rather, tries to carry it to that right side, but gets stuck behind the line of scrimmage for a minor loss of yardage.
That'll end the first quarter. They try to get Larson on the trap off the right side. There's no hole, so you try to bounce it to the outside, and there was good contain there by the Garfield defense.
Well, at the end of one, this score still without anyone putting anything on the board in this Week 10 playoff between the Garfield Bulldogs and the Snohomish Panthers. We'll see what's in store for quarter number 2 when we return.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium as Snohomish is taking the field offensively. Tate Conover with a fake handoff, finds his guy on the outside, but another dropped pass, this time by Snohomish, where we've seen a lot more from Garfield this far when the drops have come.
Great play call there by Coach Hammer. Fake the run, get Conover out on the roll. He had Ryan Douglas wide open out in the flat, and Douglas just could not hold on to the ball.
Again, we talk about that discipline, catching the football, making sure your focus is on the ball and not turning upfield before you secure that catch. And been quite a few drops tonight from both teams.
Possibly nerves, but I think what we saw in the first quarter is the Garfield defense is more than up to the task of defending the run. So I think it may be up to Coach Hammer putting some trust in Tate Conover, his quarterback, throwing the ball to loosen things up for
Looks like a timeout is called on the field by Snohomish. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where it still remains a scoreless ball game between the Snohomish Panthers and the Garfield Bulldogs. We're 7 seconds into the second quarter. Snohomish creating a couple turnovers early on, trying to get the score going for the first time tonight on this drive. A 3rd and 10 on their own 43. Looks like a potential...
I don't see a flag.
Timeout? Yeah, it looks like a timeout is called time by Garfield. And we're going to keep it here in the meantime. And Snohomish really making a couple key stops defensively thus far. Garfield without their Savell Smalls tonight. And do you feel like they're feeling that right now? Is it weighing on them both offensively and defensively?
I'd say no. They're playing just fine on defense, and they had a couple chances offensively as well. But they've shown that even without Smalls, the rest of their front seven can match the physicality of the Snohomish offensive line. So, and again, as I mentioned earlier, they've already played the likes of O'Day, Eastside Catholic. So who the heck is going to scare them after playing arguably the top 2 teams in the state?
There you go, playing in that Metro Mountain Division where you got Eastside Catholic, O'Day, Bishop Blanchette, Rainier Beach, and Seattle Prep. And those are quite a few of the powerhouse teams in the state of Washington, not to mention the entire nation as a whole. Conover out of the pistol, dropping back to pass, looking to find his guy, and he connects with Larson on the right side, and Larson gets a huge gain. He gets brought down, and it looks like he's holding, but it looks like he's a little slow to get up.
He took a hard hit in his legs.
A big hit down there on the right sideline, but Snohomish getting the first down and building some momentum.
It was like Snohomish called a double screen where their first option may have been Messina out on the left flat, but so much of the defense followed him that Larson was able to slip kind of over the middle all by himself, and there was no Garfield defender within about 5 or 6 yards of him when he caught that ball.
Conover again out of their pistol set. Kai Williams on the right side and hands it off to Messina on the outside. And Messina gets about 2 on that play.
If that. Great job by the Garfield defense. Normally we're used to see Messina take these sweeps and just get up, find a line up field and go. But this time there's no room to run, and the Garfield defense did a good job just stringing him out all the way to the sidelines for a minimal gain.
Talk about the wheels on Messina, trying to use the wheels right there with his electric speed, but not able to run out this Garfield defense who was able to limit him for a small gain on that one.
And Tyler Larson is not in the game right now. I see him on the sidelines, so he had to shake off that hit to his legs a couple plays ago.
Keep an eye out on him, see if he will return to this matchup.
And a holding on Snohomish will back them up even more. And aside from that screen pass to Larson, there hasn't been any explosive plays by the Panther offense so far tonight.
As we talked about earlier, they're not feeling the loss too much for having lost Savell Smalls tonight. The score remains 0-0. With Conover dropping back pass, finding a wide open Makai Williams, but he's overthrown. That'll make it 2nd and very long.
You can't miss that pass. There's no reason to throw it so high by Tate.
And we saw quite a few legitimate connections from Tate Conover last week, but clearly been more of a run team as opposed to a passing team because of their struggles in the passing game thus far this year.
Yeah, and I don't know if Makai would have gotten the first down, but he would at least, I think, made up the penalty yardage on that play.
2 receivers to the far side with 1 receiver in motion. It looks like Makai Williams will head back to the right side, and there'll be a carry for Messina up the middle, juking defenders out. And he gets down inside the 40-yard line for a 10-yard gain.
Messina lining up next to Conover here, just on a little trap play, and he winded out just a bit, and then finally found some room to run up the middle, and still 3rd and long, but not nearly as long as they would have been had that play been stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Looks like their workhorse and Tyler Larson has returned to the game. We'll see if he's going to get another carry tonight.
I'm sure
on this play.
He was jogging the sidelines, I think, just trying to shake that last hit off.
Conover out of the pistol with a handoff or fake handoff to Larson, and he gets brought down, losing all the yardage they had gained on that previous play with a big stop by the Garfield defense.
Travion Garner, from his outside linebacker spot, really coming into that so much backfield untouched for the sack. Big loss for the Panthers.
That's got to hurt. I mean, even though they were facing 3rd and long, to have to lose that chunk of yardage on 4th down, potentially changing the field position on this punt. We'll see what happens. It looks like this will go down. Actually, never mind. What a punt. That was a blessing in disguise, because that was an incredible punt. Down inside the 1-yard line for the Snohomish defense.
Break out the old foot wedge and you guys check up 3 yards short of the cup. Or 3 feet short of the cup.
What a punt right there by Snohomish. Wyatt Berg, number 66. Couldn't have been more perfect on that one, and you would have wondered if he was going to be able to execute that one, especially with, it looked like Garfield was there to potentially field it, but they ended up letting it go, and it ended up costing them on that one.
The ball went right past the returner. I don't know what he was thinking, but I'm sure there'll be a chat on the sidelines for him.
Garfield with a handoff off the left side. It looks like they may have gained about 4 on the play. They'll be down at the 6-yard line.
Trying to run that off-tackle lead to the slot receiver side, and in that massive humanity. About 5, I think.
About 5, yeah. It looks like they're down at the 6. So
he just refused to go down.
So, Vicky, we all have our mishaps. And a toss to the outside of Travion Garner. Or excuse me.
23, Kennard, I think.
Isaiah Kennard, rather. And he gets brought down about the 8 or 9 yard line, where it would be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, just toss people away from the slot side. Decent job by the Snohomish defense, limiting it to 2-yard gain. And if they can get a stop here, I don't know. Again, I don't know if Garfield has a punter, so that it's been their quarterback who did a pooch kick last time they had the ball.
Another handoff to Isaiah Kennard for a big run.
Flag.
But a flag is thrown, and we'll see if this one's called back. But that's something, if it holds up.
It's a holding.
Oh, looks like this will be brought back, and a costly penalty, which puts them not only a tough position for this drive, but a tough position if they're going to end up, getting themselves out of their own end zone and avoiding a safety.
Yeah, the penalties like that, especially when they occur on a big play on 3rd down, we can refer to those as drive killers.
There you go. That was one heck of a drive killer right there.
Especially if Snohomish can stop Garfield short here.
Brought back to their own 5-yard line. Tate out of the pistol. Dropping back, looking to his left side. Unable to connect with the receiver right there. He was looking for Jamal Smith.
Smith just on a little slant route, and he had some time. He had room to run had he been able to catch this, but I think he would have gotten the first down. He just didn't hold on to the ball.
Another drop we've seen tonight, and that'll make it 4th and 6.
And you got to think, even if they don't have a punter, you got to think Tate will be dropping back a little deeper and booting this ball out of there.
Yep, and it looks like he's going to pooch kick it himself.
Ooh, high snap.
High snap. And that goes about 15 yards as a result.
I think someone got a piece of that at the line of scrimmage.
15 or 16 yards where Messina's there to field it. Make sure they get as much yardage on that punt to take advantage of for their next upcoming drive.
Like either 62 or 63, I couldn't tell the number. But someone in that Snohomish line, I think, got a hand on that punt.
What?
And if I was them, I'd be wanting a punt block on my stat line for the night.
We've seen incredible plays from their special teams thus far tonight. I'd say they arguably have been the MVPs.
Yeah, so far special teams has been the difference of this game, not just for Snohomish keeping Garfield off the scoreboard, but now field position-wise as well.
Conver will again go out of their max protection pistol set.
He's got Dunham.
Looks to his right side, and he finds Dunham in for the score. Touchdown, Panthers.
Love that play design. Dunham lined up as a tight end on the right side. Conver does play action, then a bit of a half roll to his left. Dunham will delay. He'll set to block for a couple seconds, then he delays his release. Wide open, unaccounted for by the Garfield defense, and all Dunham had to do was just catch that ball, and he's in for the score. I love the aggressive play calling there by Coach Hammer as well to get the Panthers on the board.
21-yard score for Noah Dunham, number 95 for Snohomish. The Panthers strike first in this one. PAT. It's a bit as well. That'll make it 7-0 for the Panthers. The 8-10 mark in the second quarter, where they're leading the Garfield Bulldogs in this one in the Week 10 playoff. We'll be right back with more from the second quarter in this one.
Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish strikes first in this Week 10 playoff with a big 21-yard touchdown to their tight end and Noah Dunham. Off of a roll out to the left and tricking Garfield's defense into biting on it. And as a result, Dunham wide open on the right side for a big score, put Garfield in a tough position.
And because both defenses have, for the most part, been playing pretty well tonight, every score matters just that much more. So in games like this.
Michael Herrera with a kick down to about the 12-yard line. Garfield here fielding it, running to the right side with a big juke and a pretty big return on that one. That time Rodriguez Green with a 29-yard return approximately, 28 rather. They'll be on their own 40-yard line to start this drive offensively.
And he sets the Bulldogs up with great field position. And I think with the way things have gone in this game so far, this is a big possession for Garfield. They need to show a response to that Snohomish touchdown by putting together a drive of their own here, and even if it's just a field goal, getting some points on the board.
Out of the empty set, it looks, well.
Last time they were in this, they motioned one of the receivers back in the backfield for a fly sweep.
4 receivers to the left side, stacking that line of scrimmage with receivers. Is Tavon Wade, and he connects with his guy, or Javon Tate rather, excuse me.
Good pursuit by the Snohomish defense on the wide receiver screen. It'll be Messina who eventually makes the tackle. But
Jamal Smith not able to get much on that reception.
Didn't get a number, but I think it was number 25 for Snohomish. Josh Dahan, he didn't get the tackle. He forced the receiver to go much wider than he wanted to, allowing Messina to get there and make the play.
Montague with the handoff. Savelio right there with a big run off the right side. And that'll be a first down for Garfield.
He is just tough to tackle. Low center of gravity. Almost built like a bowling ball. You don't know where to go to bring him down. It almost has to be an ankle tackle every time.
Yeah, he keeps the motor going. He's a hard runner to bring down because he just does not stop whatsoever. Tade with another handoff to Savelio, but he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. That time right there, Ryan Cody with a big stop defensively makes it 2nd and long.
And Cody, he's playing that middle linebacker spot right now, and he just saw the hole open up and shot that gap, and that was not a blitz. It's just a linebacker playing with good instincts and seeing the hole open up and running through it.
Out of their pistol spread, and a bobbled snap. And that will create a sack for Snohomish right there, where it'll be 3rd and incredibly long.
And this is due to happen. I've seen a few high snaps already from the Garfield center, and Tate does really the only thing he could do and just fall, and otherwise he would have gotten killed, or worse, he would have maybe lost the ball and it could have been a turnover. So 3rd and the trestle.
And Snohomish really putting the pressure on this Garfield offense at 3rd and 21. And the connection on the outside for Garfield makes it 4th and 8 approximately.
Big pick. Quentin Jordan, the receiver, making that play. And Garfield has shown that they will go for it in this down and distance. So just that play right there makes it much more manageable for their offense to convert here on 4th down.
And I wouldn't expect, as you had said, I would not expect them to kick this one away. You figure they want to strike on this one to set the tone again. And they do so, but unable to connect on the outside. Javon Tade, that time trying to connect with his receiver.
That was from the far hash, from the left hash to the right sideline. Good strong throw by Tade, and that has to be caught. Maybe you could nitpick and say it's a little high, but from that range and for it to go through the receiver's hands, that's just a heartbreaker for the Garfield Bulldogs.
Garfield a lot more balanced offensively than Snohomish in terms of what they can do in the passing game, but not much connection tonight from their passing game.
If this is a close game and they lose, they're going to look back at a lot of these drop passes as opportunities lost.
Absolutely. A stop is created by the Garfield defense right there.
Larson with a short gain.
Larson maybe got one there on another trap play. And Snohomish did it on their last possession after that block. I'm going to say a block punt. They were very aggressive play action pass, went for the end zone. I was kind of hoping to see them do something similar to start this drive as well and really get the momentum on their side. And a two-score game in a game like this is almost insurmountable.
Conover with a keeper off the right side, brought down at about the 50-yard line for about a 2-yard gain. And
design quarterback counter, pulling the left guard, left tackle, and not much of a hole there. Good job by the Garfield defense at the point of attack. But if I'm a coach, I'm telling Conover, even though you don't see a lot of daylight there, get behind your pulling tackle, let him lead you through there, and you've gotten a few more yards than you did by bouncing it outside.
Let him pave the way and get that extra yardage where they've really struggled to create those big plays early on in this one out of the run game. They more so had to lean on the pass game where they did obviously on that big touchdown, and it'll be interesting to see if they go back towards the pass game, and it appears they will on this play. Going for the deep ball on the left side, and he finds his guy, Mekhi Williams. A big gain for Snohomish, down inside what appears to be in the 10-yard line.
That's maybe the best pass I've seen Conover throw all season. Just a fader up by Williams, and he had a couple steps on his man, and Conover just throws a rainbow pass, drops it right in the bucket.
Quite the
great
connection
pass.
from
Great
Conover
pass
on that one. We see him use a lot more of his wheels than his arm, but that was as beautiful of a throw as it gets as Larson trucking his way inside for the touchdown. And Snohomish up by 2 possessions in this one in the first half.
And that looks very familiar to Snohomish fans, especially if you watched the game last week. Tyler Larson running with great effort, not going down on first contact, driving his way through the defenders, getting some help from his lineman as well into the end zone for the touchdown. And right now, 2-score game. Had some deflating drop passes by Garfield, a block punt, a block field goal. And even though it's only a 2-score game right now, this really feels like it could get away from Garfield if another play or two goes against him.
PAT to boot. Panthers defending their home turf in the Week 10 playoff, up 14-0 over the Garfield Bulldogs. We'll return with more from the first half coming up after these messages.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish taking dominant control of this one, up 14-0 over the Garfield Bulldogs. 3:49 mark in the second quarter.
Very important possession coming up for Garfield before halftime. They're going to have to – now Snohomish is scheduled to get the ball back on the kickoff to start the second half. So the key for Garfield here, I think, is get a few first downs. Obviously, you want to score, but don't give up anything before halftime and make this lead any. Oh, yeah, okay, you're right. Todd's right. Garfield actually is supposed to get the ball back. So they have a chance to really get back in this game. If they can get a score here, they'll get the ball back to start the third quarter. So
what a run. 10 yards out by Tyler Larson. Their power back out of the backfield. Puts up the second score of the game as Garfield bobbles the ball on that field right there. They're brought down at about the 13-yard line. Snohomish take the field defensively again to hopefully create another big stop.
3:41 left, so plenty of time for both teams. Garfield does have the one timeout, though, so assuming they go on a long drive here, they'll have to be very judicious on when to use that. And hopefully, either if the receivers coach is on the sideline and not in the booth, he's talking to his guys saying, hey, catch the ball, look the ball into your hands, catch the ball, we're hurting our quarterback here.
Tade out of their spread, out of the gun. And it's a big stop right there. That time it appeared to be Carson Nicholas on the stop, from what I had seen.
Carson Nicholas, he's lining up as a defensive tackle or nose tackle, and he just got past the center and guard, trying to block him and into the backfield, creating havoc.
I always feel like the nose tackles go underappreciated when you take into account how often they get double teamed at the one technique, and to see a stop coming from the nose tackle like that, I always appreciate those.
You cannot run a three-man line without a good nose tackle.
There you go. And Garfield trying to connect on that one. Javon Tade not able to connect right there with Tier Monroe, one of his go-to receivers.
And Tade was under some pressure there. Otherwise, I think he would have liked to have held on to the ball just a little bit longer. They had two crossers going past each other. And you want, when you have that type of route combination, you want to let them get past each other. There's a few more steps, separate themselves. But instead, he had to throw it into traffic because there was two Panther defenders there to knock that ball down.
Again, out of their pistol spread. Tade dropping back. Finding his receiver, he connects, shaking off a defender, and down inside Snohomish territory, inside the 30-yard line. A big connection to Quentin Jordan on that one.
Wow, great play, and
looks like he's down, wincing in pain.
And the training staff will get out there.
Yeah, hopefully this is not too serious, but it looks like it caused enough pain to where he is unable to get up right now. And
much needed play for the Bulldogs, just injury aside, by Jordan, a 6'3", 215-pound sophomore receiver. So I think we may be hearing his name more in the years to come. But
we're going to take a quick commercial break and return with more action from Veterans Memorial Stadium here in the Week 10 playoff. Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where a big gain for that Garfield Bulldogs offense, with Quentin Jordan taking it 40-plus yards. And
a good sign he ran off the field once he got up. So
good sign for him to run off on his own power, as Garfield with a toss to the outside. Looks like they're inching close to yet another first down. That time Rodriguez Green, number 4, out of the backfield.
Nothing fancy here, just a toss sweep to the right side. They're not pulling anybody. They're just saying, Rodriguez, take the ball and you use your speed and go, and that's what he did.
Just an incredible run and catch from Quentin Jordan on that previous play that puts Garfield in great field position to get their first score on the board potentially. It's Tade dropping back to pass, looking to his left side, and he finds a receiver Looks like that was Jaden Mills Beach on the catch. And that will make it a first down yet again for the Garfield Bulldogs offense.
Good job by Mills Beach running a route where he made sure he got past the line again for the first down, and then falling forward just to be sure that they'll move the chains. And again, this could be really huge for Garfield. If they can get a score here, they're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
Tay dropping back, looking to his right side this time. And he finds his guy who breaks a tackle and gets in for the score. Touchdown, Garfield. That time, Betravion Garner with the catch and run.
And again, missed that's been when the Snohomish defense struggles. It's oftentimes missed tackles, and there's two there. And that allowed Garner to get in the end zone.
A great display of athleticism and elusiveness coming from Betravion Garner, who's been their key go-to guy to lean on out of the offense tonight for that Garfield offense.
And just think how different this game could be if not for some of the drop passes that Garfield had earlier in this game. So I think right now they're going to they'll be going into halftime feeling much better about themselves, but they'll also be going, wow, what might have been if we just hold on to the ball a little bit better.
There you go. Garfield hoping that will build some momentum to get them in the right gear for the remainder of the game offensively. They certainly did a good job defensively up until the last couple of minutes. That'll be the other thing they'll need to
and Garfield's going to go for two.
To work on. And Garfield with a toss to the outside, and they are in with a two-point conversion. That one, Isaiah Kennard on the carry, and they will be down by only 6 now.
And nice play call there, toss sweep, and just let Kennard use his athleticism, find a hole, and then get into the end zone.
Score 14-8 with Snohomish leading. With 1:41 remaining in the first half. We'll be right back with more in the first half after this.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200+ national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Panthers lead this one. Week 10 playoff, 14-8. Garfield finally responding with the first score of the game. What did you see from the Garfield offense on that last drive, Luke?
They caught the ball.
Finally catching
they caught the ball, and then they're
simple as that.
They caught the ball, and then again, Snohomish missed some tackles, and that's all it took for the Bulldogs to get on the board.
They will kick it off. Second time tonight. Snohomish there to receive at about the 22-yard line for only about maybe a 12-yard gain on that one. And how important is it for Snohomish to not shy away from that big drive where it seems like a huge momentum shifter for Garfield? Well, how important will it be for them to just continue setting the right tone with what they've been able to do offensively over the past few drives?
If they can get a score here in these last minute, 37 seconds, that'd be really would negate any momentum that Garfield gained on that last touchdown drive. So it's really important for Garfield to keep Snohomish off the scoreboard here and going to the locker room.
Conover with a handoff to Messina, who jukes his way for a big first down. I mean, that was you take one blink and you lose him. You know?
He is quick. Just counter player to the left side, getting behind his pulling lineman, and best run of the night so far for Messina. I think the Garfield deep, because Snohomish had some success throwing the ball now, it's loosened up the Bulldog defense.
They've done a good job, the Garfield defense, in limiting Messina tonight. It's Makai Williams catch it on the out route.
Nice catch from Makai Williams.
And it looks like he's going to get a gain of about 5 yards on that play.
And he got out of bounds too, which stops the clock. Good throw by Conover, put it really in a place where only his guy could get it. And then Makai does a good job of securing the catch and then getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
And yeah, as I was saying, Messina so far been limited tonight, but on that previous play for Makai Williams' catch, that was perfect display of his shiftiness as the speed back out of the backfield for Snohomish. And he gets another carry right here up the middle. And they get another first down for this Snohomish offense.
This time they run the counter to trade to the right side, and Steve does a good job getting up the field, hitting the hole, and getting the first down.
Breaking some tackles along the way as well. Looks like a timeout.
Garfield, they're trying to get a 12th guy off the field, so they called timeout before Snohomish could snap the ball.
Avoiding a costly penalty on that one is Garfield. And we're going to take a quick commercial break and return with more action from the first half. You're watching high school football here on STSPN.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium with 1:10 to go in the first half. Panthers leading 14-8 and currently regaining that momentum shift with their drive they have going offensively right now.
They're doing a nice job with the 2-minute drill, moving the chain, getting some nice chunks of yardage, both running and throwing the ball. And they were, because they're moving their offense at such a rapid pace, Garfield was trying to make a substitution. They had to call a timeout in order to avoid a 12-minute on the field penalty.
Conover out of their pistol set with Larson out of the backfield. And they're going to hand it to Larson up the middle. Tries to power his way for a gain of about 2 or 3 on that one.
Tried to run the trap, and Larson got a couple of yards and then just ran into a wall of white shirts.
And you got to tip your hat to what Larson's doing right now with that huge tackle that he had to overcome and back in the field and not afraid to put his foot on the gas pedal. We saw Conover trying to put his foot on the gas pedal with the deep ball right there, but unable to connect with his guy, Mekhi Williams, on that one.
And couldn't get the number of the corner for Garfield. I think it was number 19. I can get his name real quick, but he does a good job. Just a subtle little grab of the jersey. He's not making it blatant where he's going to get a holding call on him, but just grab the jersey just a little bit, keep that receiver with him so he can't get to full speed.
Maurice Allen, junior cornerback for Garfield on the defense. Conover dropping back, looking to his right side again, this time to Messina, and it's underthrown and almost picked off even.
And Conover was under quite a bit of pressure there, so he really couldn't put everything into that throw that he would like to.
And that was a little scary moment for that Snohomish offense as Jaden Mills almost coming up, or Jaden Mills Beach rather, almost coming up with a potential interception if it was just a couple inches, couple feet further.
4th and 8 here, so a very interesting call here for the Panthers. Do they maybe do another pooch kick and just pin Garfield deep and go into halftime, or do they stay aggressive here?
It looks like they are not moving at all. Oh, they get an offsides.
And they got 5 free yards, and
that will help them at least.
I think that'll make the decision, definitely make the decision much easier for them on what to do.
To want to go for it now. And a good decision right there to test the patience of that Garfield defense. It serves to their benefit. It looks like a timeout's also called by Snohomish.
Timeout Snohomish. That's their second timeout of the half.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. Be back with the remaining 36 seconds of the first half here in Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium where we only have 36 seconds remaining in the first half. Snohomish with the ball at the opposing 29-yard line, but it's 4th and 3, and they're up by only 6. So to try to get their rhythm going and going into halftime, being up 2 possessions. Going to be interesting to see how this play unfolds if it goes in their favor. And they move Conover to the outside with Messina taking the handoff out of the Wildcat, and it looks like he gets the first down.
They shift to kind of a student body right formation, and Messina and the Wildcat just running off tackle to the right side. And good job by that offensive line. They caved in really that side of the Garfield defense just enough for Messina to get the first down.
How about that play call from Joe Hammer? Conover trying to connect with Mekhi Williams, but case of the Butterfingers yet again.
It's a lot of drop passes at you. You wonder if there's a little extra moisture in the air, condensation on the footballs tonight.
Yeah, because we've seen that quite a bit tonight. And not that there hasn't been enough. I mean, 14-8's a decent score for the first half.
But it's just a different game for both teams if they just hold on to the ball and
certainly so.
Catch it.
Certainly so. Messina and Larson out of the backfield for Conover, and he hands it off to Tyler Larson, who gets to the outside, down inside the 10-yard line.
I caught Garfield in a nickel defense. They're only playing with 2 defensive linemen here running a counter, and a huge hole up the middle for.
That was Messina, actually. That was my mistake. It was Messina on the play.
Well, nothing against Tyler Larson, but Messina's just a little bit faster than you can tell.
I should have noticed that. And he's a little bigger, and it's just sometimes your eyes play tricks on you.
And Conover spikes the ball to stop the clocks here. So 2nd and goal with 14 seconds left.
Trying to figure out what play to draw up next with only 14 seconds remaining on the clock.
And Snohomish does have 1 timeout left, so they can run the ball if they so choose, but whoever runs it, if they get tackled short of the goal line, there'll have to be a timeout called immediately.
What do you potentially expect to see from this Snohomish offense in the remaining 14 seconds?
We could see another counter because those have been working on this drive. Maybe you see a fade route to a receiver with a matchup you like, or maybe call a swing pass to Messina, getting the ball in the space, see what he can do.
Brandvold to the left and Mekhi Williams to the right. Handoff to Tyler Messina, and he fumbles the ball inside the goal line.
But was he across? They're saying he was. They're saying he broke the play, and they're going to call it a touchdown.
I don't see a touchdown call.
The official on the near side here.
Oh, excuse me, I missed it. There we go. Touchdown, Snohomish. What a wild play.
I don't know about that. I mean, not having a camera on the goal line, it's tough to tell, but it was super close whether or not Tyler got the ball across before it got knocked out of his hands.
Yeah, I got cut off by this bar up here, so I didn't quite see.
Well, here's a replay.
Let's see if he was able to maintain control.
That
does not look like a touchdown. That does not look like a touchdown. And a controversial play, a controversial call by the referees. And we saw this against Edmonds Woodway a couple weeks ago. Remember that? Where Snohomish gets the benefit of a controversial call.
Wow, that's.
I cannot believe what I just saw, because that did not appear to be a touchdown.
I don't think he got the ball across. I don't think he broke the plane with the ball before they got punched out. And
Snohomish getting away with one on that one.
This is looking at it again, and I think he got the ball knocked out when he was at the 1 yard line, and
that's the thing. You have the refs are over there, and we're looking at it from a different angle. We don't have a touch on the back, or like a camera set up at the goal line. We have a camera out from midfield, and we're able to tell that was clearly not a touchdown. You have to wonder what's going through the minds of the refs right now.
Well, second time this season, someone's gotten the benefit of a very controversial call at the goal line on a fumble or not fumble, and wow, maybe they're doing a lot cleaner living than the rest of us to get these.
And we saw, as he was alluding to, against Edmonds Woodway a few weeks ago in their Week 8 matchup, Snohomish squaring off against Edmonds Woodway here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Actually, I believe it was Week 7 rather. And Capaccio Cherry. It looks like another bobbled return for Garfield, but they're able to recover it and take the ball at the 25-yard line. But as I was saying, Capaccio Cherry, the running back for Edmonds Woodway, had a huge, what looked to be a touchdown play that was called back and instead ruled a fumble despite his knee being down.
And the ball not coming loose until it hit the goal line.
Exactly. And they ruled it in a fumble instead, which Snohomish had recovered. But it, at least my eyes and everyone's eyes here in the booth, and I think a lot of people I'd seen even on social media say that it was indeed a touchdown. Lo and behold, we're here yet again. As Javon Tate trying to connect with his receiver on the outside.
And we're going to get a pass interference from Snohomish. So that will, and since the quarter cannot end on a defensive penalty, Garfield's going to get one more crack at it here before halftime.
And unable to connect with Quentin Jordan on that one, who made that key run, catch and run that set up their scoring drive on the previous drive.
So we're getting an untimed down here for Garfield. And for Snohomish is probably thankful that this isn't the NFL rule where it's a spot foul.
Yeah.
And then it's only a 15-yard penalty on pass interference.
There you go.
Although Jordan being 6'3", I'd go to him again, see if you can't get something to happen again.
They certainly have the size, with a plethora of players being 6'3" and above. It's like at least 6 players on their team, maybe even 7 rather, that are 6'3" and above.
Not bad when you're looking for a jump ball situation like they probably will be here.
Or rather 8 players, excuse me.
Even better.
The more the merrier. And Snohomish,
let's face it, Garfield's a pretty good basketball school too, so they're going to have some kids walking around with some height in those hallways.
3-time All-Star from the Portland Trailblazers and Brandon Roy, but here Javon Tate trying to connect with his receiver, and it looks like they're going to rule that incomplete. It looks like they were going for a hook and ladder type play.
Never had control of it, and the ball hit the ground on the attempted lateral, so it's probably incomplete.
They're calling that incomplete, and that will be the conclusion of the first half. What's your takeaway ultimately from what you've seen in the first half from that Snohomish team?
Missed opportunities by both teams on some drop passes, but especially since they happened right before halftime, a very controversial call that could prove costly for Garfield tonight.
It served to the benefit for another score for Snohomish as they lead by 2 possessions in the first half, leading 21-8 over the Garfield Bulldogs. We're going to take our halftime break and return with more action for the second half. You're watching the Week 10 playoff here on STSPN. We'll be right back.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes? At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. They are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do-It-Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
And welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're right in the midst of the Week 10 playoff going into the second half here in Snohomish, Washington, where the Snohomish Panthers are leading the Garfield Bulldogs 21-8. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who are tuning in, I'm David Gillespie. Alongside with me, my broadcast partner in Luke Winsor. And Luke, we saw quite a bit of controversy ensue at the end of the first half with just 6 seconds to go, with Tyler Messina getting the touchdown run, which didn't frankly appear to be a touchdown run, as it looked like it was forced fumble by Eric Savelio, with Maurice Allen of Garfield recovering it, and the refs instead ruled it a touchdown.
Yeah, from our vantage point, it looked like Messina's about a yard short of the goal line, but again, without having a camera on the goal line, it's tough to be 100% sure, but I'm just going ahead and say I'm 99% sure that he didn't get the ball across the goal line. But that said, there's a lot of other things that happened prior to that in the first half, especially a lot of drop passes by Garfield, where if they would have held on to some of these balls, I'm not saying they'd have the lead, or even I'm not saying they'd have even more points on the board, but it would be a different game. So I think for Garfield, bad call aside, the first half for them was a story of a lot of missed opportunities. And so they have to go in, their coaching staff has to go in and tell their players at halftime, look, if we just clean some of this stuff up, we can stay with these guys and come back and beat them.
Well, either way, I think even with whether this determines the fate of Snohomish's win or loss in this one, either way, I think the refs really should have done a better job in calling that, because it seemed like they had I don't understand how they could have messed up that call when they have clearly a much better angle at the play, at what ultimately transpired, than we do, where we're on the 50-yard line approximately, and we only have one camera set up right here, and we clearly, definitively knew that was indeed not a touchdown. So a very controversial call, and we had seen this from here at Veterans Memorial Stadium a few weeks ago with Edmonds Woodway, where a touchdown was ruled a fumble instead, the other way around, and it was for Snohomish's opponent in Edmonds Woodway. But either way, Snohomish up 21-8 as a result of the referee's ruling, and they had, of course, the touchdown with Messina, and they also had a big touchdown to Noah Dunham. What did you make from Tate Conover connecting on that pass early on in the first half?
Well, once they really let Conover throw the football down the field, I think he's done a pretty good job. He had the touchdown pass to Dunham. He had a nice fade route to Mekhi Williams, which is, I think, maybe Conover's best pass of the season so far. And I think because Garfield, for the most part, has done a pretty good job defending the run between the tackles, it's going to be the arm of Conover, I think, going forward to, at the very least, loosen things up so that the running game can get more traction, later on in this game.
A big touchdown for their first score of the game in Garfield with Travion Garner catching that big catch I think it was about 11 yards out, and he had the catch and run. How does Garfield get back in this? They're down by 2 touchdowns. They had that gut puncher with that controversial call in the first half. How would you respond with that team in terms of getting that offense going? Because it clearly was stagnant in the first half thanks to that Snohomish defense.
Well, again, there's been a lot of drop passes, and I think it's a different game if Garfield just catch the ball. So I think there's not a lot they have to change. Just tell the receivers, hey, concentrate on the ball. Don't worry about running with it until you catch it. And then when they have been able to catch it, and also a couple times with their running backs, especially Savelio, Snohomish's tackling, which has been suspect at best sometimes this season, they've not been putting on a tackling clinic. So every big play that Garfield has gotten has been almost exclusively because they've been able to break some tackles. So if they can continue to catch the ball, get Savelio the ball, who I think he's the hot back right now, I think they have a chance to get back in this game, especially if they can get a couple more stops on defense.
And Snohomish's special teams really stepping up big in the first half with 2 forced turnovers, 2 blocked kicks. And what did you take away from that, from getting, obviously the special teams are only on the field for a handful of plays a game, and to step up in those big moments when you only have a rarity of chances? What did you take away from Snohomish in that aspect?
I think that has so often I think people overlook special teams, but in this game early on especially, that was the difference, was the Snohomish special teams. They blocked a field goal, they blocked a punt, and that blocked punt set up their first touchdown. And they've had a punt that they downed at the Garfield 1-yard line. So if they can continue to win the game, can control that phase of the game, it'll make things much easier for them both offensively and defensively.
Snohomish getting ready to kick this one off to start the second half of 21-8, trying to pursue their first state tournament appearance in 11 years. Quite a bit of time since they've been to the Tacoma Dome and the Woodshed. They're eager to get back into the Tacoma Dome, try to steer this ship in the right direction for the upcoming years under Joey Hammer.
Well, nowadays with the Tacoma Dome is exclusive for the finals, so that in 3A when you have O'Day and Eastside Catholic to deal with, that's be quite the ask this year.
Excuse me, that's right. That's right. It is saved for the finals, and instead they'll play at different stadiums. I completely drew a blank about that for a second. That is right.
I'm still getting used to that too. So.
And Snohomish kicking this one away, where it's fielded at the 35-yard line. It looks like a gain of about 8 on that play.
Maurice Allen, who was an up back, got that. He gained more yards going sideways than he did north to south.
And he had, of course, the fumble recovery, or what looked to be the fumble recovery in the first half.
The recovery of the fumble that wasn't.
That wasn't a fumble ultimately.
The fumble that wasn't.
But he's made a key impact both offensively and defensively on what he's been able to do in the first half. And Garfield trying to get back in this one, down 2 possessions to start the second half. Javon Tate out of their pistol spread. And he finds his guy on the outside, who's brought down at about the 49-yard line into Snohomish territory.
And it looked like Javon changed the color audible at the line of scrimmage. Saw a lot of open space by the Snohomish defense out there, so he called it, changed to an out route by a slot receiver, and good decision by him. Sets up a second and short.
Tierra Monroe on the catch. Only 1 yard away from moving the chains. Tate trying to communicate with his offensive line on that one. He finds another receiver on the right side this time. This time Travion Garner. We talked about making an impact in the first half.
Garner bobbled it, but he did hold on to that ball.
We talked about the drop passes.
Yeah,
he finally was able to secure that one.
He secured that one. Well, he scored the touchdown, so he didn't drop everything.
Tate trying to adjust his offense accordingly, and it looks like a false start is called on that one. That time, Yabes Taula, their left guard, with the jump. And that will bring this back 5 yards, make it 1st and 15.
And with some of the penalties called on him in the first half, that's not what you want on your first drive of the second half, is another penalty called on your offense for Coach Joey Thomas.
Tade with the handoff up the middle, and a big gain right there for Eric Savilio.
And Savilio, he's the guy who had feature here in the second half. Well, he's being subbed out now. He was the toughest guy for the Panther defense to tackle.
Yeah, he was quite the bruiser in the first half, running with just full force and putting a beating on the Snohomish defense, but not too much. Them being up by 13 and holding them to just 8 points. Javon Tate fires on the left side, trying to connect again with Tierra Monroe, but dangerous to do so.
Dangerous pass here again, overthrowing the receiver over the middle, and so many times when you throw high over the middle, it gets picked off. Javon is fortunate that didn't happen there.
Tyler Messina in the coverage. Talk about him so much and his contributions offensively, but he's quite the defensive player too. To be able to force that incompletion. Third and 8 from their 41-yard line. Tate dropping back, looking to his left side, finds Garner, and he will get close to a first down. Excuse me, that's not Garner, that's rather Quentin Jordan, looked like a 13.
And look at this replay, look at the running back for Garfield, was rocking it forward in his stance a little bit. They're fortunate that was not called a penalty there. It's another miss by the officials.
You gotta hope, just to watch it, for the sake of watching a clean game, that the refs clean it up after that controversial call right there. As a timeout's taken by Garfield. And we're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with more. The 9:54 mark in the third quarter. You're watching high school football here on STSPN.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We are back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Snohomish leading the Garfield Bulldogs on their home turf. On Snohomish's home turf, to clarify, 21-8, the 9:54 mark in the third quarter, 4th and 1. How do you feel Garfield is adjusting mentally right now?
Well, they were pretty loose with their timeouts in the first half, and already first drive of the second half, they used another one.
Going with their hurry-up offense and a run to the outside. He gets the first down and more, and he's inside for the touchdown.
Kennard.
That one, Isaiah Kennard, from about 33 yards out.
And you think Snow should adjust to this by now. When Garfield gets up in that formation, they're stamping it quickly and usually running to the slot receiver side. And Kennard got the edge, and there was no one there in front of him. And he used his wheels to get in the end zone. Big touchdown to open the second half for Garfield.
Explosive run to get Garfield with their second score on the board. Isaiah Kennard, the big carry.
Here they go again.
One of their key players, and they're going for the 2. And Kennard again going for the handoff, but getting stopped. And that will negate the 2-point attempt. But the Panthers still on top of this one, 21-14 at the 9:42 mark in the third quarter, and we're going to take a quick commercial break.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Garfield puts their second score on the board. with a big touchdown to narrow the deficit to only one possession, and trying to get their momentum back. It's Snohomish's home turf.
And watch out for a surprise onside. Garfield did that to open the game.
Leo Cunningham going for the onside kick. But right there to field it was Langdon Orgel. Snohomish exclaim a sigh of relief on that one.
You have to think after Garfield got him with it that one time, Snohomish will be ready for it and will not get fooled again. At least you'd hope not.
For their sake, yeah. Snohomish really putting their foot on the gas pedal with what they've been able to do offensively through the air, and Messina starting to find his rhythm. Larson with the carry this time, though, or excuse me, Messina rather. And he gets about 3 or 4 yards on that one.
And nice job on Messina. He's able to shed a tackler in the backfield. Otherwise, that could have been a tackle for a loss for Garfield. But Messina got a lot more out of it than he really should have.
That Snohomish team really finding their rhythm in every aspect. And surprisingly, it's just been in so many different ways where, you know, they'll lean on their bread and butter generally. But tonight it's been special teams, defense, out of the pass game, out of the run game, you know, as of late. And got to tip your hat to what Joey Hammer's been able to do with the game plan tonight.
You get Tyler Larson on another counter off the left side. It should be a little short of first down.
Looks like they're going to mark him at the 49-yard line in Garfield territory with a timeout taken.
Injured Garfield player.
And there appears to be an injured Garfield player. It looks like.
Can't tell.
Number 53, who's not listed on our roster. Looks like he's down in pain. We're going to keep our eyes out for him. See if he's going to be okay. But we're going to take a quick commercial break in the meantime. You're watching Week 10 playoff here on STSPN. Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the 8:49 mark in the third quarter with Snohomish up by one possession, leading 21-14 for those of you who are tuning in. Ball at the 49-yard line. Conover with a handoff up the middle.
It's Larson.
And Larson is taken down, may have gained one based on forward progress.
I think I got two. That'll be enough for a first down.
Oh, excuse me. They're going to give him the first down. It looked like from my angle for a second that he didn't gain much, but they will give him the first down, move the chains for the Snohomish offense.
And good job by Conover. They're fielding the low snap, having to bring out his inner shortstop. And then just enough to push by the offensive line to allow Larson to get the first down yard before he got pushed back.
Snohomish looking to maintain control of their lead as Larson takes the handoff and gets closer to another first down with about a 10-yard or 9-yard gain at the very least. Looks like he's going to be a little bit short on that one.
And this would be a great time for Snohomish to go play action, take a shot deep. Garfield, their free safety is playing about within 8 or 9 yards of the line of scrimmage, so I think that Garfield's going to go man-to-man on the wide receivers on the outside, and they're almost daring Snohomish to take a shot at him.
Larson, or Messina with the carry, and the wide open area to run for the touchdown. A big carry for the Snohomish offense.
Or you can give it to Tyler Messina, he can take it for the touchdown. When you play so many guys up close to the line of scrimmage like that defensively, that's a risk you take. Is if the running back can break through into the second level, there's often no one in front of him in between him and the goal line, and when someone with Messina's speed, that usually means touchdown.
It's like about 37 yards out, getting some help right there from his right guarding Carter Cole with the block. And Snohomish back up by 2 possessions. We've been wondering when those explosive plays would come out of that Snohomish backfield. We just saw one right there from their star running back in Tyler Messina. Snohomish again leading 28-14 at 7:46 in the third quarter. We'll take a quick commercial break and be back with more action here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way in Everett. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish is back up by 2 possessions. Big carry from Tyler Messina on that one with a wide open alley to run on that particular play, Luke.
Yeah, just run off the right side, getting behind Carter Cole, who should be an all-conference selection offensive lineman for Snohomish. And again, Garfield, they're playing a lot of guys up close to the line of scrimmage, and it's a feast or famine type of defense, and that time it was famine for the Bulldogs.
They had no answer for him. We saw that first big explosive play from Messina tonight.
And the ball fell off the tee, and there is no wind, unlike last night.
So wondering.
You almost have to wonder if the ball, there's just condensation on the ball.
Yeah, because we've seen a lot of drops. We've seen a lot of what appears to be butterfingers, maybe as a result of the texture of the ball or something. There's been quite a few drops and quite a few mishaps with the football tonight. As Garfield pitches this back on the kickoff and reverses field, but not much of a gain on that one. And it looks like maybe a change of possession, a potential fumble for the Snohomish special teams.
It was Rodriguez Green. He was the one who took that pitch, and he tried to make a big play of it and just lost the football.
Unbelievable what this special teams has done tonight for Snohomish.
Whoever their special teams coordinator is, he earned his volunteer pay. Wink, wink. And that's a great thing about most high school coaches in the state. They are all volunteers for the most part, and
making quite an impact right now for that Snohomish team. That is their special teams in particular. As Conover tries to connect with Makai Williams on that one, but a little too low.
Only
make it 2nd and 10.
Only a mole had a chance at that ball. Ball was in the turf.
Needed a diving attempt for that one.
Well, I think Conover, the ball slipped in his hands. I think he was trying to throw a screen to the near side to the trips formation, but he lost his grip temporarily, and then by then the Garfield defense recovered and was all over the screen pass. So then he tried to hit Makai on a slant route.
2 receivers to the far side with Makai Williams in motion. Versus to the right side now with a handoff to Larson up the right side. And it looks like he may have gained about 4 on the play, or 3 on the play, excuse me.
And you also have to think, with this field position, it's 4-down territory for Snohomish, so they don't have to throw it here on 3rd and long. They can still run it and set up a much shorter 4th down.
Yeah, you have to wonder, if they're going to lean on the run game or scare that Garfield defense again with opening up the pass game and the deep ball, especially as we saw.
Well, Garfield's playing with a safety a little bit deeper now. He's starting to creep up just a bit.
Looks like a flag is called on the play.
And
it appears to be in Snohomish direction, where they'll be marching back.
I think someone on
a few yards.
Someone on the interior of that offensive line jumped a bit.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Now, if I'm Garfield, I'm playing my safeties even deeper. I don't want to give. It's 3rd and long. I don't want to give up a big play here.
They generally like to play their safeties deep, but just because of Snohomish's run game, they've been a little careful about how they've approached that tonight. But again, it didn't matter because Messina having his way tonight yet again. And Snohomish's offense adjusting accordingly with a big touchdown pass in the first half.
Oh, another drop.
And a drop ball by Makai Williams to make it 4th and long on the opponent's 34-yard line with a stall to this drive.
You almost want, and you see it in any level, in a lot of levels of football. Sometimes drops can just be contagious, and it's happening to both teams tonight. And if Garfield can get a stop here, it'd be huge, because Snohomish had a big opportunity to really put the vice grip on this game if they could have taken advantage of that fumble on the kickoff and scored.
Looks like they're going to take a timeout. Snohomish will talk over what will transpire on this 4th and 13. I presume they're going to punt with how far they're out.
It's in that gray area of how much do you gain by punting it, how much do you...
Do you want to put your foot on the gas pedal at this point, or do you just go with the
time
conservational play of kicking it away?
The time to have gotten aggressive would have been the first play right after the fumble. That's when, plays after turnover, when you get it in good field position. As a play, when I've been a play caller, that's when I like to call something, like go big and try to get a score right then, catch a team on their heels. But now 4th and 13, we could see another pooch kick, or we could also see trying to hit that fade route to either Mackay or Brandvold again.
It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds for Snohomish.
The trip set.
Trips to the near side for Snohomish. Again, out of the pistol, though, with Messina in the backfield. Or Larson, rather. And they're going to go deep. And oh no, and he's unable to connect with Makai Williams on that one.
Guy had about a half step on his man.
Was in position to catch it, but just a little overthrown.
Yep.
And that will change the possession arrow. And the Garfield Bulldogs, who will take the field offensively. 6:16 mark in the 3rd quarter.
Really an opportunity wasted by Snohomish. They could have really distanced themselves from Garfield. 2-possession game. You never feel comfortable with that just because you're 2 or 3 plays away from being tied.
Vontae out of the pistol with 2 receivers to the near side. Excuse me, out of the pistol, the spread pistol with 2 receivers on each side, rather. And he's going to look to his down the middle and unable to connect right there with Tierra Monroe, who he's looked to frequently tonight.
Overthrown pass, and I'll tell you what, if Tate keeps throwing the ball high over the middle, he's going to get 1 or 2 of them picked off.
We're just wondering when the next turnover is going to come for the Snohomish team, who's forced, 3 now on the night, I believe? 2 on special, or all 3 on special teams.
And turnovers on downs count as turnovers as well. So.
Oh, excuse me, there may have been a couple more offensively. That's right. There may have been, I think,
another high snap.
1 more offensively. And a big run up the middle for a first down. Garfield will get the chains moving again. That one, Isaiah Kennard, who we saw in the big touchdown catch, a big touchdown run, rather.
High snap, but didn't matter. It looked like Garfield did it running a draw play there because a lot of their offensive linemen set up like they're pass blocking and create some nice running lanes for Kennard to pick from.
Isaiah Kennard, their speed back, going to take a breather, and it looks like he's crouching down in pain somewhat on the sideline. Hopefully he's okay, and they're going to bring in instead Eric Sevilio, who's their bruiser out of the backfield. And Tay dropping back to pass into his right side. And they're going to call a flag. I wonder, is this going to be PI? It didn't look like there was any PI right there on Makai Williams, but you see, looked like it was Betravian Garner clapping his hands as if it was Makai Williams on the penalty.
They're calling it, and I thought it looked like feet got tangled up, incidental contact, but apparently the official had a different opinion.
I think I heard defensive holding on the play, so that made a little more sense because the holding obviously taking place before. But from what I saw, I didn't see much pushing or any grasp from Makai Williams on Betravian Garner. That will move the ball up to the 36-yard line in Snohomish territory for this Garfield offense.
And this might be an opportunity now for Garfield to go play action, take a shot downfield, get on the scoreboard.
Looks like they're dropping back to pass, going with the pass at least. And he finds his guy on the left side in Quentin Jordan. We saw quite a bit of an impact tonight. Did have a couple drops though, a couple misconnections between him and Javon Tade, but able to connect on that one. Out of their pistol spread again. Finds his receiver on the left side again. That time in Quentin Jordan. And he's going to get a first down for the Bulldogs offense.
A couple more missed tackles by Snohomish, and they might have an even bigger lead if not for some of these missed tackles. They have to do a much better job of wrapping up and then holding on.
Garfield building the momentum on this drive. Now inside the red zone of Snohomish, looking to narrow the deficit to just one possession.
Garfield's changing the play. The coaches in the booth next to us see something in the Panther defense they want to take advantage of. So they signal down to the coaches on the field, who then signal into the offense.
And he's going to look to his left side again to Quentin Jordan, who's trucking his defenders and bringing them inside for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Garfield.
Great effort by Jordan. He is 6'3", 250 pounds, so not an easy tackle for most high school defensive backs. And he just dragged two Snohomish defenders an extra 5 yards across the goal line.
And I think that's a message right there that Snohomish needs to step it up with the physicality if they want to suppress this Garfield offense, because they got some big boys on that team, and we just saw right there Quentin Jordan taking care of business, using his size to just tear up that Snohomish defense.
And Garfield now will go again for two, and it's going to be a quick snap again.
Wade out of the pistol with a toss to the left side. And Snohomish right there to read it, but he reverses field, and he gets in for the two. Isaiah Kennard using his wheels on that one with a big, big two-point conversion.
And Snohomish initially played that well at the point of attack, but the backside of the defense did not stay at home. They lost their discipline, and Kennard reversed his field, got some blocks, and was able to get it in virtually untouched.
And you just got to appreciate the field vision from Isaiah Kennard on that one. Reverse field, knowing that the play would have been dead on the left side, going to the right side instead, using his wheels, and he gets the two-point conversion. Garfield now only down by 6 at the 5:23 mark, with the score being 28-22. Snohomish leading in this one at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We'll be back with more action here in the third quarter to continue this matchup.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Garfield narrowing their deficit to just by 6 points now. They trail Snohomish 28-22. A big run, big catch and run from Quentin Jordan to put on their third score of the game, and a big two-point conversion to boot from Isaiah Kennard as they kick this off and try to go for another onside kick. And they're not kicking the ball deep tonight whatsoever.
Yeah, and there are some philosophy. There's a philosophy out there of onside kicking every time, but usually once you catch a team with it once early in the game, they're going to be ready for it from there on out.
And that's what's so surprising about the situation. Snohomish right there on that play, in particular with James Williamson coming down with a recovery, being there to field it. I mean,
and now you're asking a lot of your defense to
make up for the lack of great field position. Conover out of the pistol with a handoff up the middle, and Larson trucking his way, bruising his way down inside the 25-yard line.
Great burst up the middle by Larson. He saw that hole, he hit it hard, and then just start dragging defenders, which is kind of his MO.
Certainly is. We saw that quite a bit last week.
Really seen it all year from him.
And we've seen it all. I mean, especially last week I thought was a spectacle. But it's, again, like you said, it's his MO. That's his style of running, and he doesn't shy away from it whatsoever. As Messina's brought down behind the line of scrimmage, loss of about 1.
Again, I think Snohomish has had much more success running straight at the Garfield defense and not trying to go outside.
Setting that physical tone for sure.
And even Messina's long run, it was between the tackles. So I say, if I'm Coach Hammer, go between the tackles, go right at them. Don't try to outrun this defense on the perimeter.
Receiver to each side for Conover. Another carry for Larson. It looks like he'll be taken down with a gain of maybe 1 at most. It'll be 3rd and long.
He got more than that. I think he got about 3 or 4. But once he ran into a couple, 2 or 3 white shirts, they. They did not let him drag him that time. They made a point to push him and pull him backwards.
It looked like a gain of about 3. I think I was looking at a different point of view from the field, so that's what made it a little difficult. But yeah, 3rd and 8 now
and again,
for this Snohomish offense.
Inside the 25, this probably is 4-down territory, so much they don't necessarily have to throw a pass beyond the first down marker here.
Conover looks like he's going to get swallowed up for a sack on the play and a big stop by that Garfield defense.
He wanted to throw it here, but on play action, Garfield set a blitz on the Snomish's left side, and there's just one more guy to block than Snohomish had blockers for, and in for the sack is Garfield, and it's about 4th and very long now, and you got to wonder what Snohomish is going to be doing here.
That was Daniel Lesnikowski on the play, the senior defensive lineman, 6'2", 240 pounds. Put the punishment on, take Conover on that one. It looks like a timeout was called by Garfield.
It's their 2nd of the half already.
And they're going to adjust to what may be a potential attempt at converting on 4th down for Snohomish. And we're going to take a quick commercial break in the meantime. Resume action when we return here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. You're watching high school football here on STSPN.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Welcome back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Snohomish leading 28-22 at 3:03 mark, but it's 4th and long on this drive at the opponent's 29-yard line. And Conover dropping back to pass, finds his guy, but he's brought down for a loss, and that will turn the ball over for Snohomish.
And it was a screen pass to Larson, which was well read by Garfield. They were not fooled at all. Same screen pass that Snohomish got him in the first half, where they fake it to Messina on the outside and Larson up the middle. But number 53, who's not on our roster here for Garfield, he sniffed it out right away and was all over Tyler Larson.
Larson looking a little ginger and getting up from the play. Have her to the sideline and be evaluated. Looks like he may have landed hard down on his shoulder.
Yep.
Garfield will take the field offensively. Tate looking to find out how to expose that Snohomish defense, who's been on somewhat of a roll tonight, holding them to only 22 points, which, you know, we talked about the absence of their star player in Savell Smalls, the number 3 recruit in the nation for the class of 2020. Who would be their tight end, in addition, of course, to his more primary position at the outside linebacker. How much do you think they feel his absence tonight and not being able to take the lead in this one right now?
I'm assuming Snohomish had a game plan of how to deal with him all week. And now once they saw that he wasn't even suited up, that changed things. So it's tough to say for sure how much of an impact Savell would have had, but you would know that Snohomish would be trying to account for him, and maybe that's on pass plays. That's one less receiver they send out to keep someone in to block. How that affects the run game, I don't know. Maybe they run everything away from him. Who knows?
Javon Tate with a fake handoff and going out to his right, but he is found by a couple of Snohomish defenders led by Braden Ulrich, their middle linebacker, with a big sack.
Grady Kench was in there as well from the outside linebacker spot, chasing Tate down, and looked like Tate almost escaped, but the referee said he was in the grass. Play dead.
We've seen some fairly good protection tonight from both sides, with just only a couple sacks to note total from each side. From both sides, rather. And that will be punted away down inside the 35-yard line, down to about the 31, it looks like. Snohomish will take over offensively yet again.
Big stop by the Panthers after twice having great field position and failing to score, and then Garfield getting within 6. They needed their defense to step up and do something, and they did there, getting the sack on Tate and then enforcing the punt.
Braden Ulrich has really made an impact over the last few weeks as a defender at the middle linebacker position.
And he's a freshman, and then the other guy in on that sack, Grady Kench, he's just a sophomore. So a lot of young talent on this Panther defense.
A lot of youth at the starting positions defensively. And, I mean, we talk about how the run game's been their primary reason why they've had so much success, but we've seen some flashes of good play from their defense, and you have to figure that as Messina carries the ball on the left side with a big carry. Looks like he may have gotten inside the 50-yard line, down inside Garfield territory on that one.
Messina gets the yards, but the credit to this play really has to be Tyler Larson. Look at the block he throws there. Allows Messina to be able to turn the corner. And Branvold also at the wide receiver spot, he does a nice job blocking as well, allowing Messina to get outside and get up the sideline.
I was just about to say, both Larson and Branvold, great protection on that one.
Yeah.
And again, Conover out of the pistol with another carry for Messina. Looks like, or excuse me, with Larson rather. Looks like he may have gotten 2 or 3 on the play, but we've seen some flashes of great play, as I was saying earlier, from Snohomish's defense throughout the season. And, you know, the fact that they have youth, you know, it's great because they have plenty of time to work on that and build something for when they get to that senior year, a lot of their defenders, and really have a formidable defense to suppress opposing offenses.
Gotta tackle better. They gotta tackle better.
Absolutely. Certainly been an issue with them, as well as somewhat of their passing game too, and connecting on passes, as Conover unable to connect with Mekhi Williams on the right side.
An RPO, and one of the things about RPOs is a defensive end or outside linebacker, he's not being blocked, so he's gonna come free regardless of whether it's a run or a pass, because it's the zone read, which is the run part of it. And Conover saw that guy in his face, and he rushed the throw, and it was well short of his intended target.
Receiver to each side. Conover dropping back to pass, leading to his right side for Mekhi Williams on the out route. Mekhi Williams shakes his defender and gets inside the 10-yard line for a huge gain.
Great execution here by the Panthers. Ball thrown on time, maybe a little bit behind, but it didn't matter. Mekhi Williams make the catch, shake his man, and break free. Sets the Panthers up with a 1st and goal right around the 7-yard line.
I believe about a 46-yard gain on that catch and run by Mekhi Williams. He's had quite a few catches. You got to be expecting him to near the 100-yard mark if he's not already.
Especially after that one there. Big play by the Panthers offense is something they needed, especially after the last couple of series.
And a big catch in the first half. That was 40-plus yards, and had another one right there. Larson up the middle. Gets inside the 5. Looks like he's down at about the 3.5-yard line.
Getting behind Carter Cole, and he had to high step a couple defenders there before diving forward into about the 3, or the 3.5.
Yeah.
To be technical.
To be specific. And looks like Messina out of the backfield yet again, but a potential
Another
timeout. It looks like,
I don't know. Garfield only has one left, so I'd want to save it for the fourth quarter.
You'd figure a flag is thrown instead.
Illegal participation on Garfield. I think they had 12 men in the huddle.
And that's going to be costly for this Garfield defense to allow them to get even closer.
So it should be half the distance.
For Snohomish's potential 5th score of the game. And yeah, like I said, we've seen some big plays through the air, especially they're really building that passing game over the last few weeks in Snohomish. Got to appreciate what Tate Conover's been able to do tonight through the air.
They don't ask a lot out of him throwing the ball, but when he does, he's often been successful. So
we'll see what they have drawn up for this play. Looks like Messina again out of the backfield. Conover to the left side.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
Conover, but that will conclude instead the end of the third quarter. The Panthers leading this one 28-22. We've got 12 minutes more before both teams' fates are decided. Determine who goes on to the state playoffs and who goes home. We'll be back with more action here at Veterans Memorial Stadium here on STSPN. Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, with the final 12 minutes of this Week 10 playoff between the Snohomish Panthers and the Garfield Bulldogs. Snohomish with the ball on the 3-yard line, trying to march in for their 5th score of the game.
And so much going back to their formation they used a lot tonight, 2 tight ends and 1 receiver.
Conover with a fake handoff. He's going to keep it and go in for the score. Touchdown, Panthers.
The replay, send the man in motion, fake it to Larson. The defense collapsed, and Conover took it, and all he had to do was and he jumps over the pile. And as soon as the ball crosses the goal line, it's a touchdown. And he didn't need much, but he got what he needed.
We had him on last week. We're squaring off against Squalicum here at Veterans Memorial Stadium as the MVP of the game. It's almost like he's begging to get that second MVP shirt tonight as well.
Well, he's been very effective. When he does run it, he's been very effective.
Seen him through the air, seen him on the ground. And Snohomish up by 2 possessions now, leading 35-22. We're going to keep it here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish defending their home turf and trying to get back into the playoff hunt, potentially eliminating Garfield from returning to the playoffs as they did last year with the state semifinal.
Yeah, and right now, if you're the Snohomish coaching staff, you're telling your defense, if we can get one more stop and get the ball back to our offense, I think we have a great chance of winning this game. Because again, 2-score leads, people think, oh, they're comfortable. No, they're not, because you're really only 2 to 3 plays away from being tied again. So you want to get, if you're Snohomish, you need to get another stop and another score, and you can put this game to bed.
And on the other hand, on Garfield's side, what do you think Joey Thomas is saying to his team right now to rally them up, get them ready for this final 12 minutes?
It starts with getting a score. They don't want to waste much time. A little sense of urgency. Let's get a score. Let's get this game back to within a touchdown, and then we'll go from there.
Snohomish getting ready to kick this one off yet again. Just 12 minutes to go. before they're on potentially the state playoffs for the first time in 11 years. And a big kick down to about the 17-yard line, rather. And it's returned with a big return from Garfield down inside Snohomish territory now, where he gets down to about the 48-yard line.
That was
big
Jordan.
return.
That was
Quentin Jordan.
I'm telling you, he's only a sophomore, and his height and size and speed there, we're going to be hearing his name being talked about. Maybe I don't know if he's going to be a 5-star like Savell Smalls is, but I think at least the Pac-12 is going to be after him.
They have so many key players on there, unfortunately without their star player in Savell Smalls, who starts at tight end and at outside linebacker, especially where he's made his biggest contribution. As Garfield tries to run up the right side and gains about 3 on the play. And it looks like that was, again, Eric Savilio on the carry.
And if you're Snohomish, you don't mind that at all. Let the clock run after a 3-yard gain.
And pass to the left side, this time to Quentin Jordan again. And he gets down inside the 30-yard line.
And breaking more tackles. He's just a big physical wide receiver. And most high school defensive backs just aren't physically prepared to take on someone like him.
It looks like a timeout is potentially, the referees may be going over something right here. But Garfield with a big momentum swing early in this fourth quarter right now, trying to get
And
the deficit down to just 7.
The referee coming over to talk to Coach Hammer of Snohomish. Maybe an issue with the clock.
It looks like, they're having some issues with something.
So he told Coach Hammer to tell someone up in the press box to maybe do something with the game clock here.
That Garfield team, even without Savell Small, still are loaded with talent. Isaiah Kennard, number 98 recruit out of the state of Washington.
And
16 recruit in Avery Morrow, but he's out due to injury. And then QB Javon Tade, ranked number 27, the class of 2020. And Tade rolling out to his left side after receiving some pressure. It looks like he's going to get down inside the 33-yard line for a gain of about 3, and it'll make it 3rd and 7.
And Landon Orgill bringing him down for a minimal gain. Yeah, you have to wonder if they're not in the same division as teams like Rainier Beach, O'Day, Eastside Catholic, what their record would be like.
Absolutely. If they were playing in Wesco, it'd be potentially a different story. Tade dropping back, almost gets sacked again by Braden Ulrich. Rolls out to his right, finds Quentin Jordan down inside the 5. He reaches over for the pylon.
Touchdown.
And they give him the touchdown. A big play by Javon Tade to Quentin Jordan yet again.
And at first I thought Tade should have kept it himself, but getting it to Quentin Jordan, never a bad idea.
How about that Superman reach for the pylon? That was,
was incredible. I'm buying some stock in Quentin Jordan.
I felt like I was watching that in slow motion right there. Is he going to get it? A big play by Quentin Jordan. Oh, yep, let's see it. Here we go. For full effect. What a play by Quentin Jordan.
I don't know if his knee got down before he got the ball across or not, but
I thought it was
close. It's close enough that even if there was instant replay, it'd be tough to overturn.
That was it looked a little tough. I thought he may have gotten it, but that was just from my naked eye, and they get the PAT to boot. Garfield only down by 6 at the 10:52 mark here in the 4th. We'll be back with more action here from Veterans Memorial Stadium here on STSPN.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Evergreen in Everett. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the Panthers leading this one at the 10:52 mark, but Garfield responding with a touchdown of their own, biting back.
And they didn't take much time off the clock to do it, so double whammy for Snohomish. I know they give the touchdown, but not even 2 minutes went off the clock.
That Quentin Jordan kid, man, he is
He's
one
just
special
a
athlete.
sophomore.
He's just a sophomore, and we're going to see quite a bit of him in the next couple of years, where he's going to get a lot of attention to be a potential D1 player.
Oh, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Yeah, just from watching one game. Yep, you got that right. As they kick it off down to about the 26-yard line, Snohomish there to field it. Looked like that was Ryan Douglas on the return, I believe, and he's brought down to about the 36-yard line for a 10-yard return.
And Snohomish has 2 goals for this drive: score points and take time off the clock. If you're Coach Hammer, you want to take at least 5 minutes off the clock before you punch the ball in for a touchdown.
And of course, first and foremost, make sure you're holding on to the football.
Well, yeah, but take time off the clock. You want there to be you want the clock to be under 6 minutes before you score.
You have to figure they're going to be running the ball primarily now.
Yeah.
With it being the fourth quarter, they're up by 1 possession. And it's certainly worked for them in recent plays. We'll see what they have up their sleeve right now. And it looks like a jump from the tight end.
Well, a play from Garfield did come across too, but they're going to call it on Snohomish.
It looked like he jumped first, and that caused Garfield to jump as well. Noah Dunham on that one, who had the big touchdown catch in the first half, jumps on that play, and that'll move it back 5 yards.
And when you want to run the ball and run some clock off, the last thing you need is to be backed up on a penalty, on an unnecessary penalty.
Now you're going to be pressured to pass too, which, of course, pending incompletions, it could be stopping the clock as well. And Messina with a carry to the outside. And it looks like he may have made up the yardage and then some.
Maybe about 5, but again,
from the penalty.
Aside from the one run on the last drive, most of Messina and Larson's yards have been between the tackles. Don't challenge Garfield's speed. Challenge him directly at the point of attack.
Challenge their physicality.
You beat speed by running at it, not trying to go around it.
I think we can certainly expect Larson to be begging to run up the middle, because he seems to thrive on that. They're going to fake the handoff to Larson, with Messina catching a pass out of the backfield. He's going to jet to the left side for the first down inside Garfield territory, and that'll be a first down for Snohomish.
And really, those little swing passes are often extensions of the run game. But this time you're getting the ball to your best playmaker in space a lot faster now, so it's a lot quicker developing play than a handoff and then running the outside zone.
Snohomish seemingly ready to get started with the state playoffs next week. They're in such a rhythm right now, maintaining control on their home turf. As Messina outside run to the left side gets about 4 yards on the play.
And he stayed in bounds, and the clock continues to run.
The 10-minute mark approximately in this one. Garfield trying to reappear in the state tournament this year for the 3rd consecutive time. They have to get the lead first. Snohomish runs up the middle with Larson carrying a defender.
When have we said that before?
Yeah, it seems like every play he's just inflicting as much punishment as he can on opposing defense.
And Carter Cole leading the way, pulling through the hole. And he's a good guy to get behind. And great run by Larson, moving the chains and keeping the clock moving for Snohomish. And something else to keep in mind, if you look at the teams on the sidelines, Snohomish has a lot more players in Garfield, so depth becomes a real issue here, and fatigue late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, on top of that, having to deal with injuries as they've had to start 4 freshmen this year, as Messina with a carry to the outside. The gain of about 1 on that one.
not a huge fan of that play call, running outside to the short side of the field. Allow the Garfield defense to force the ball carrier out of bounds. If you're going to run outside, at least run to the wide side of the field so you have a better chance to stay inbounds and keep the clock moving.
And while Larson had that run up the middle, you have to figure that Garfield's defense is sniffing out the outside runs with how much they've done it lately with Messina. So that one didn't amount to much. Conover with the keeper, and he gets about 5 or 6 on that one. Make a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 maybe.
Again, Conover, he's been effective when he does keep it, especially if it's a fake to either Larson or Messina. And we have a final, as our producer Todd Elvik is telling us. Lake Stevens 56, Kent Lake 0.
With max protection on the offensive line. Conover looking to his left side with Messina, who breaks the tackle and gets down inside about the 15-yard line. Excuse me, they're going to rule him rather at the 17 or 18.
Couldn't tell the number of the Garfield player who pushed him out, but that saved a touchdown there because if that defender doesn't get just his hands on Tyler,
he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's
gone.
off for the races. So tip of the hat for Garfield to at least, limit him on that play.
He's going to say hi to the EMT guys over there by the ambulance.
We've got another unofficial score for Lake Washington, winning 17-0 over Shorewood. That has come to a conclusion. This one, still 8:25 remaining. We find out who moves on to the state playoffs and who goes home.
And I think it's safe to say with Lake Stevens, the season they've had, they will be hosting a home game next week.
Absolutely, yeah. Incredible success they've had this year. And it looks like a potential timeout is called, for Snohomish. They talk this over, being 2nd and 11 on the 19-yard line. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with more action here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. You're watching high school football here on STSPN.
Fred's Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
Back here at STSPN in Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish up 35-29 with 8:07 left to go in the Week 10 playoff. 2nd 11, ball on the opposing 19-yard line. And Larson with a run up the middle, carrying a defender, and he breaks one. He breaks the tackle and gets in for the touchdown.
He runs with as much effort as any high school running back I've seen in a long time. Dragging the defender and just said, "Get off me."
I'm surprised I didn't get a flashback. I thought maybe his jersey was going to tear from that defender trying to, grab onto it and get a flashback of Earl Campbell ripping his jersey,
40 years ago, yes, when they had the tearaway jerseys. Now they're made out of a little tougher material.
So hoping to see a flashback right there, a reminiscent flashback of Earl Campbell. But that was, he's quite the power back.
And only 180 pounds, too.
Yeah. Not shying away from contact whatsoever as Snohomish gets the PAT to boot. And they're up again by 2 possessions, leading 42-29 here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, on their way to their first potential state playoff appearance in 11 years. We'll be right back with more action here from Veterans Memorial Stadium here in Snohomish, Washington.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Snohomish capitalizing on that drive with a big score from Tyler Larson. They're bruising back out of the backfield with a big carry up the middle, almost carrying a defender into the end zone, right?
Yeah, that young man, he just could not hold on.
Just gotta hope the best.
Might want to do some forearm curls to strengthen that hand grip.
And especially when you're going up against a guy like Tyler Larson, who again at only 180 pounds, brings every pound of force to opposing defenses. As Snohomish with a short kickoff that's brought down at about the 41-yard line.
And not that we need to gush too much about Tyler Larson, but he, pound for pound, he might be one of, if not the strongest running back in all of Wesco. Only 180 pounds, but he runs like he's 220.
That's the thing. You just don't see, out of my experience of watching high school football, playing it, so on and so forth, you don't see that many backs break that many tackles consistently. It's like every
size.
Play at his size, too. It's unbelievable. Javon Tade getting out of the spread, out of the pistol spread. Looking to his right side. And unable again to connect with the receiver. Again, another drop from that Garfield team.
The training Garner. And we hadn't. I think they went almost the whole third quarter without a drop, so that's their first drop in a while. But, oh, wow, especially when you're trying to come back this late in the game, those are killer.
Not exactly the ideal timing for that to ensue for this Garfield offense.
Throw it to Jordan.
Yeah, from what we see from Jordan, that wouldn't be a bad idea to look at. Snohomish dropping 4 back into coverage. And a broken tackle. I was shocked to see him not brought down. A big gain for Garfield on that one. Looked like that was Jamal Smith on the catch.
And we talk about how different this game would be if Garfield would have had all these drops or if Savell Smalls is playing. How different would this game be if Snohomish was just doing a better job of tackling?
Absolutely. Caden Keithley unable to secure the tackle on that one. Javon Tade dropping back, finds Quentin Jordan again on the left side. And he gets about, looks like 7 on the play.
9, I think.
9 on the play, excuse me, correct. You are correct. And they're going to look, I'm sure they're going to look his way quite a bit for the remainder of the night. And they do so, and they get the first down. Cade Keithley able to secure the tackle on that one, bringing Quentin Jordan down. And Cade Keithley was kind of the hero of last week's matchup against Squalicum, where he came up with a big interception late in the fourth quarter to seal the game for Snohomish. They're going to need him to step up big tonight as well, as Javon Tade rolling out to his left, overthrows the ball. He wasn't able to find an open receiver, it looks like.
He's looking for Quentin Jordan again, and just the two of them not on the same page on the scramble drill. Jordan was heading to the sidelines while Tade was thinking that Jordan would be breaking off into the end zone, and just a little miscommunication there.
We approach the 6:55 mark. Ball at the 17-yard line. It's 2nd and 10 for Javon Tade and that Garfield offense,
who have not wasted a lot of time in this drive. Barely a minute of time has gone off the clock, and which is good for Garfield because they need to show a sense of urgency here.
Tade looking to his sideline, find out what play to maybe change to. Tade rolling out to his right, and he finds a receiver, and another dropped pass.
He may have come down with it out of bounds, but again, like I said, he was out of bounds.
And Betravian Garner, who had a drop earlier in the drive, it's another one yet again.
It's a fine line for quarterbacks when a guy has dropped as many passes Gardner has, do you keep going to him because you want to have confidence in him, or do you finally say, hey, it's just not his night, and you got to look elsewhere?
Well, and he's getting enough separation on these routes to get some decent yardage, but it's just a matter of coming down with the catch.
Got to hold on to the ball.
Von Tade looking again to the sideline.
Change the play here.
3rd and 10 on the 17.
And if I'm a defensive coordinator, when I see a team do that, I want to change something in my defense too, just to try to mess with the offense's head.
Looks to his right side, and again, another incompletion, that time to Tier Monroe. And it's 4th down, and this is potentially the game-deciding play for the Garfield offense.
And Jervin Viena, the linebacker there, he undercut that route, and if he'd been able to keep his feet, he might have had a chance to intercepting that pass.
This is a big play. They all come down to this for the fate of the Garfield 2018 football season. Von Tate communicating with his offensive line. Dropping back, looking to his left side. And he finds Quentin Jordan, who's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Garfield.
Another big touchdown by Quentin Jordan, the sophomore wide receiver.
Jordan isolated on the left side. Looks like he just running a slant route, beat his man out to the inside, and able to get in across the goal line for the touchdown. I'm double covering him the rest of the night if they get the ball again.
Certainly so. It's surprising how much they've let him have his way thus far out of on the line of scrimmage of the receiving corps.
Let someone else beat you. Don't let 11 get you.
Find a way to limit him at the very least.
Bad
It's
snap.
a bobbled snap, and he will be tackled in the backfield. Looks like Brady Kench on the play. We've seen a couple big plays from him tonight.
Yes, we have, and now it's a 7-point game, so at least at this point, if Snohomish is unable to score and Garfield scores again, an extra point doesn't beat you, but Garfield has shown a couple times that they're willing to go for 2, so.
Yeah, the fact that they went for 2, I think relieves a little bit of pressure off this team as we get down to the final minutes of the game, not having to, for sure go for 2, because they could have been down by 8 at this point.
And with the scenario that we're in now, 6:37, Garfield only has 1 timeout. So Snohomish, they don't need big plays. They just need to hold on to the ball, get first downs, 4 to 5 minute offense, take time off the clock, and if they can get to the point where Garfield's used up their last timeout in the under 2 minutes, they can start taking a knee and walk away with a victory. But they have to get first downs here, and also be ready for a potential surprise onside kick again.
Yeah, they've been.
Although it's, at this point, I don't know how much of a surprise it would be.
Exactly, I was just about to say, not much of a surprise from their kickoff team, as they've been trying to get that possession on quite a few kickoffs tonight. Occasionally going deep, but for the most part, kicking it rather shallow. We'll see what happens right here. And he goes again for the onside kick. And it looks like Garfield may have come up with it. What is it, the 4th time's the charm?
Well, why does Snohomish not have their hands team in? They've been willing to go for it, this onside kick.
And it didn't look like there was as much aggression on Snohomish's part to recover the ball. I mean,
why is the hands team not in the game?
Very surprising.
But now they're saying that Garfield touched it before it went 10 yards. I think is what they're discussing.
Oh, no, they're giving the ball to Garfield. It looked like they gestured the possession towards Garfield. So it is indeed a recovery. And again, I believe this is the 4th time they've done this tonight. And
4th or 5th, and they've recovered 2 of them.
4th or 5th time's the charm, I guess, because you would have thought that this would never have worked after the first time, because they would have expected it, but they kept pursuing it, and they got it this time.
Oh, there should be a hold.
Javon Tate on the right side connects with the receiver. You can hear the boos from the crowd raining over.
There was an obvious hold that the officials missed. Top of the screen there.
Yeah, you can see that right there on the right tackle.
Yeah.
That one on Antoine Brown, who appeared to be holding, gets a lucky break on that one with the missed call.
2nd and 7.
And the catch looked to be Travion Garner. Javon Tate gets wrapped up in the backfield for a big sack.
We have a flag. Could be a hold, could maybe even be a face mask. We'll see.
We'll see what this is all about, but holding penalty called on the offense.
Interesting decision for Coach Hammer. Does he accept the penalty or do they decline it, setting up 3rd and long?
And I think
they're going to accept it.
Yeah, because it looked like it was about a 4-yard loss with a sack, but obviously with a 5-yard penalty, you get that extra yard. And they're going to take every yard they can get to put this game to rest, put the Garfield offense out of its misery.
Takes the ball all the way back to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know about that. They scored 35 points.
Well, I meant to say in terms of in terms of having control of the game.
Garfield going to change the play.
Driving back to pass, Javon Tate rolling out to his left, finds Quentin Jordan with the spin, and he breaks to the outside and gets quite a bit of yardage on that one.
And Jordan was wide open in the middle of the field. With the night he's been having, how do you let that guy get that wide open? Just got lost in the middle of the Snohomish zone coverage. And again, breaking more tackles.
That's about a gain of 22 on the play, and you got to expect him to be nearing the 100-yard mark.
Oh,
if he's not already.
I think he's closer to 200 yards at this point.
And a flag is
thrown
thrown
on the sideline. We have a
dead ball penalty.
Looks like a dead ball call.
Sideline warning against Garfield, so I don't think they're going to lose any yards.
Or excuse me, yeah, sideline warning.
Not in the first. Not the first time this gets called. And there are some unhappy Garfield coaches, which you expect whenever that gets called.
Especially this late in the game. .520.
Now if you look at here at the bottom,
to go.
Snohomish is going to double Jordan.
Javon Tate finds his guy on the left side. That time Tierra Monroe was brought down for a gain of about 6.
And so they're finally doing what they should have done probably a while ago. They're going to double Jordan. They put Wargill right in his face. They're going to jam him, and then Mekhi Williams playing over top of him. That guy's hurt you enough if you're the Panthers.
Javon Tate again out of the spread. Connects with Quentin Jordan, who breaks another tackle and gets brought down after getting the first down and then some.
Well, here on the replay, they want to double him, but one of the reasons you put a linebacker over top of him is you got to jam him, but Orgel barely got a hand on him. It allowed Jordan a clean release off the line of scrimmage on the slant route.
They will move the chains for this Bulldogs offense yet again.
And we timeout Snohomish. And I think Coach Hammer's going to go over that. If we're going to double team this guy, we're going to put a guy right in his face at the line of scrimmage, you have to get your hands on him, reroute him. Don't let him run free into the secondary.
Not much physicality on that play from the opposing defense. Snohomish. But we're going to take a quick commercial break as they try to go
frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Snohomish trying to cling on to the lead, leading 42-35 at the 4:32 mark in the fourth quarter. Out of the spread offense goes the Garfield Bulldogs with Javon Tate.
Snohomish will double Jordan, but they got to get hands on him.
Been looking to him quite a bit on this drive. You have to wonder if he's going to look again. And he looks to the right side this time. And a good stop right there. It looks like that was Josh DeHaan on the deflection.
Try to get over the top of DeHaan with a fade route, and DeHaan does a good job getting his hands up and knocking the ball away.
Ball intended for Vitravion Garner, but DeHaan with a great deflection.
All of his vertical jump there.
Yeah. Doesn't have exactly, the biggest of size, but able to
come
up
high snap.
And a high snap, and that'll be brought down to make it 3rd and very, very long.
Second time tonight that's happened, and snapping has been an issue for Garfield all night long. You have to wonder, are they playing with a backup center?
Now about 3rd and 20, they're going to give 3rd and 22. And a tough position for this Garfield offense with just less than 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
But definitely 4 down territory, so they really need to get about half of it back on this play.
Javon rolling to his right, finds a receiver in Garner, who makes up the yardage. It'll be 4th and 10 at approximately the 20-yard line.
I think 4th and 15.
Oh, did he got out of bounds?
He stepped out of bounds.
Okay. Looked like from my angle he got out at the marker.
Huge play here for both teams.
4th and 15. This could potentially decide the game right here. This Garfield offense. Monte looking to the sideline, trying to make sure he gets the appropriate play call for what could determine the 2018 season for the Bulldogs. Drawn back to pass, looking to his left side, rolling out to his left. He's got pressure. And he is unable to connect. And that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Great job at the Snohomish front, getting pressure on Tade, forcing to his left, and really for any right-handed quarterback, no matter what level, you're never going to be quite as accurate rolling to your left and throwing it. And he just could not get the ball to Garner, who broke off his route on the scramble drill.
Trying to connect with number 13, Vitravion Garner on that one, but just a tad bit overthrown. Creates a turnover on downs. And Snohomish just needs to hold on to the ball and convert a couple first downs to come away with this one.
Garfield has 1 timeout left, so really if you're Snohomish, you really only need 1 first down. And just get it to where Garfield has no timeouts left in less than 2 minutes, and you can start thinking about taking a knee and getting out of here with the win.
It's 1st and 10, Snohomish on the 25-yard line.
Conover with 1 receiver to the near side. Looks like a timeout. Or excuse me, they're going to...
Officials timeout, maybe.
Officials timeout, rather.
It seemed to be there's been a few of those tonight.
Yeah. Just trying to straighten out a few things on the line of scrimmage, it looks like. And it looks like they're going to reset the play. Snohomish getting back into the huddle. But what a stop, especially from that defensive line in Snohomish, to create the pressure and force Javon Tate in an uncomfortable position, rolling out to his left side. What did you see on that last play?
Just good pressure off the defensive left's offense's right side. And again, he looked at Jordan right away. He was doubled, so he had to come off of his main guy.
Conover with a handoff to Tyler Larson, who gets stuffed. May have gained 1 yard, though, on the 2 yards, rather, on the forward progress.
And I think the strategy here for Garfield is try to not use your timeouts yet. Try to go 3 and out, and if you can get a stop on 3rd down, that's when you might see them call their timeout.
And serve the last one for the waning seconds of the game, if they do, in fact, get the ball back offensively.
And if you're taking Conover, you do not want the ball snapped until you see the back judge raise his arm up, which means there's 5 seconds left on the play clock.
Conover with a handoff to Messina, who heads towards the left side and gains maybe 1 on the play. That'll make it 3rd and 7.
And Conover snapped that way too soon. The back judge did not put his arm up. Wait, if you're trying to bleed the clock, wait till the back judge puts his arm up. That way you know there's 5 seconds and counting left. Milk as much time off the clock as you can.
Snohomish trying to convert with a first down, a big first down, and come away with this win and make their first state qualifying appearance in 11 years. And Larson stuffed at the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss of 1, will make it 4th and 7.
Great job by the Garfield front. A pulling guard, they got to him in the backfield, which then forced him into Larson, and Larson just fell down well short of the yard to gain for the first down, and Garfield will take their last time out, stopping the clock.
And was it the right time, do you think, to take that timeout there?
Yeah, you only have one, so you might as well, if you can force the 3 and out. It's gonna be after the 3rd down, regardless of whether or not Snohomish got the first down or not. So that was the time to do it.
But not to conserve the timeout for a critical play call that may be ensuing on the following drive?
Well, you don't. If they don't call the timeout there, then Snohomish is punting the ball with maybe around 1:40 left, and so you wanted to give your offense as much time to run a 2-minute drill as they can.
Play the boundaries, play the incompletions.
Really, you're telling your quarterback in this situation with no timeouts left, every throw has to be either beyond the first down marker or towards the sideline.
Snohomish will punt this one away, their own 29-yard line. And an okay punt that will get down to about the 46 in Garfield's territory. Garfield will take the field offensively, or presumably the last, for one more shot to tie up the game, actually.
Possible, and again, Garfield has shown the willingness to go for 2. They've done it 3 times tonight, converted on 2 of them. So don't think that if this is a touchdown here that Garfield's going to settle for overtime. So much has to really the defense has to finish the game.
Snohomish playing their cornerbacks off the receivers quite a bit.
Flag. We have a flag in the backfield.
And a flag is called, which may erase the completion to Travion Garner on the right sideline.
We're going to get a holding here.
They will bring this one back 5 yards.
10.
Or excuse me, 10 yards rather. Garfield in a tough situation at 1st and 20 rather.
And really, I mean, there's never a good time for a penalty, but at this point, Garfield can ill afford to be committing any penalties and backing themselves up. I think it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So
he's where they marked it.
1st and about 21.
Javon Tate. Looks like a false start.
Yeah, when 10 guys go, but the center doesn't snap the ball, that's usually a false start.
That will bring it back 5 yards. Now 1st and 25, and Joey Thomas rather, has got to be livid on the sideline, wondering what's going on because they're shooting themselves in the foot without even getting a playoff.
I don't know what his follicle situation is, but it made
maybe missing a couple hairs after tonight. Javon Tate dropping back to pass, looking to his left side, and unable to connect with Tierra Monroe.
And Monroe
on the crossing pattern.
Tried to make a one-handed catch there. I don't know if he could have gone for that ball with 2 hands or not, but falling harmlessly to the turf, setting up 2nd and really long.
And we've talked about the drops tonight, but that wasn't in that case a drop. It was more so an incompletion. And we've seen quite a bit of those where it's been overthrown or underthrown from Javon Tate, trying to find that rhythm again and throwing the football where he's generally been so effective in.
And right now he's facing defense that really smells blood in the water, and they're lining up 3 on the line, but they're usually sending a 4th or 5th guy to get after Tate.
Playing 4 deep.
And they are definitely doubling Quentin Jordan.
Brought back, cover the corners of the field. Javon Tate looking down the middle and unable to connect. That time with Jamal Smith, it looked like.
And Smith, what I would like to see him do on that route is, instead of keep running, once he finds that hole in the zone, settle down, present an easier target for his quarterback to hit. Instead, he kept running, and the ball fell short. If he settles down and comes back towards the ball, That's an easy completion.
It's 3rd and 26 from their own 30-yard line. With 1:40 to go to determine the fate of their season. Devontae dropping back, looks to his right.
Screen and he dropped
And
it.
another dropped pass, that time by Isaiah Kennard, makes it 4th and 26.
And that's a smart play call there, calling the screen on third and 26. When you know you're going to have to go for it on 4th down, just try to make 4th down as short as possible. Try to catch the ball.
This is going to be their last-ditch effort to salvage the season. Hoping for a miracle right here. 4th, very long, 26 yards. Devontae coming back from injury.
If Garfield does a play kind of like the Boise State Circus play from the Fiesta Bowl, that's the time.
Trying to find the rhythm he usually has, and looks like a timeout is going to be called.
No, neither team has a timeout left. We got a penalty on Garfield.
A penalty, excuse me, I didn't see the flag. And
maybe delay a game, I don't know.
that'll bring it back even more. What seems to be a situation that has become exacerbated by penalties left and right by Garfield's lack of discipline offensively. Again, the last-ditch effort to salvage the season right here comes down to this play for Garfield. Devontae dropping back to pass. He faces pressure, and he is sacked in the backfield.
Carter Cole.
An unbelievable stop by Snohomish defensively with Carter Cole. We talk about him and his contribution as the right guard, making a big play on as a defensive tackle with a huge sack to put an end to this one.
And Carter Cole, the senior captain, likely sending his team to the state playoffs, and really all Connor has to do is take a knee 2 or 3 times, and that's a ball game.
Snohomish trying to contain their excitement for the last 1:27, but you know they are as ecstatic as can be.
They're going to state.
Going to state for the first time in 11 years.
For really a proud, traditional program, they're going back to where they feel like they never should have left.
Joey Hammer done a terrific job this season.
And
looks like
2 more
just
knees and that'll do
resetting
it. 2 more knees and that'll do it.
Snohomish has just done a terrific job this year offensively with what they've got at the offensive line. We talked about Carter Cole, we talked about their backfield with Tyler Larson and Tyler Messina. An incredible ending against a tough Garfield team that gave them everything they had, despite the injuries.
They do not play like a 3-6 team, that's for sure.
Certainly got to imagine from Garfield's side that they are feeling the injury so much from Savon Small's absence in tonight's matchup.
Well, I don't know if he was injured or what, but definitely his absence was felt in this game. And again, you can't say for sure that they would have won with him, but I think it's a different game.
Different dynamic, potentially a different result. Snohomish taking advantage and milking this moment for everything it's worth. As they clinch state playoff berth for the first time in 11 seasons.
They get to be one of the 16 3A teams in the state that will be anxiously waiting to reveal the brackets on Sunday to see who they'll be playing and where.
As a way for how it's ultimately determined. A committee of 5 to 8 people, 1 and 2B, 1A and 2A, 3A and 4A will determine who. We'll be back after this with our Adrenaline fundraising game.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Back here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the final score here being 42-35. Snohomish coming away with a win. And again, repeat numerous times, their first state playoff berth in 11 years. They are just going crazy down there on the sideline.
Coach Hammer just got a cold shower, but it's the best cold shower he's ever gotten in his life.
That's a cold shower he's welcoming. And they're going up to celebrate with their classmates, their fans, making a big impact for that school and rewriting history to go to the state playoffs yet again.
Huge win for can't get much better in your first year as a head coach. Win the conference and get to the state playoffs. I think obviously they're going to, whoever they play next week, they're going to play to win. But everything that Snohomish does from this point out is just gravy.
And as for our Adrenaline fundraising player of the game, we're going to try to get Mekhi Williams up here, the wide receiver for Snohomish.
A lot of guys we could have gone with. I thought Mekhi played a great game. Probably over 100 yards receiving. And he didn't score a touchdown, he put them in position to score a few.
2 40-yard plus catches on the night for Mekhi Williams, who had some key plays even defensively too, as the cornerback as well. And what a season it's been for Joey Hammer. Really steer the ship in the right direction. And I mean, you can only just imagine how excited he's got to be putting Snohomish back in the state playoff, to be that guy and to accomplish that feat. I mean, you know, words can't describe. I mean, I know when we qualified for state for Shorecrest High School when I was in class of 2012, it was a beautiful moment and lost my voice from cheering, as I'm sure many will do tonight.
This is a proud program, a lot of tradition here, and for them, waiting 11 years to get back to state probably feels, for a lot of their fans, feels like an eternity, but they're back. Who knows what's going to happen next week, who they'll play, but you know they're going to be excited and ready to go. And if they have to go on the road, I know from experience, the Snohomish fans, they travel very well. I played a home game against them where they had to deny people from getting in the stadium halfway through the second quarter, otherwise it would be a fire hazard. So the Panther fans will travel.
They're quite the rowdy bunch.
But we still won the games.
Joey Hammer, a Snohomish graduate himself, graduated in the class of 1998. To do this for his home school he attended as a student himself, got to be even more meaningful. And we've seen, I mean, it was so many different aspects to their game tonight that really stood out. Whether it was what they did special teams, I think that was a huge difference in this game.
Yeah, that should not go
with the turnovers they were able to create.
And I think Coach Hammer wants to talk to his players in the locker rooms. We may not really get Mekhi up here in time, but again, huge win for this program.
We'll try and hold on and see if he's able to come up.
Yeah, Coach Hammer was approached by Steve Willis for the KRKO broadcast we interviewed. He said, no, I got to go talk to my team in the locker room. So,
yeah, as I said, special teams offensively with Tyler Larson bruising his way for a couple touchdowns. You had Messina as well.
Just an all-around team win.
A couple touchdowns. And incredible team effort from Snohomish tonight.
And yet they also have some things they can still get better at. And really, you may not know this, but coaches always, even after a big win, they always want something they can be like, look, we sucked at this.
They're going to nitpick.
We weren't very good at this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, especially getting ready for the state playoffs.
And, that's a great way to kind of refocus the players and get their attention.
But nonetheless, getting the job done here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's, again, a tough Garfield team that is as resilient as they come, and they've proven that this season, playing in the tougher division and getting the wins that they did, despite all of the injuries, having to deal with 4 freshmen needing to step up because of those injuries.
that's the best 3-6 team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And they didn't even have their best player.
They didn't have their best player.
Which probably shows you just how tough that Metro Mountain division is. So this is a good win for Snohomish. If you look past the records and actually saw this Garfield team play, this is an excellent win for them. Yeah, maybe a little bit of controversy. We don't need to necessarily, we've already gone over that plenty, but hey, a win is a win is a win. And
that would just be the difference, really, between a tie game and a win.
Yeah.
But that's not saying that Snohomish should have lost this game.
Yeah, but obviously it changed the game.
It did change the game.
But who knows what would have happened after, had that call been different afterward. But again, all credit to the Panthers. They played a heck of a game.
Yeah, Mekhi Williams, we trying to get him up here. And it looks like he may be coming up, yep. And we will get him in here for a potential interview. And he's, again.
Yeah.
And we have just got to tip our hat to the way he was able to play tonight. Come up with a few big catches to really get them in the right, the right field position for the drive. For numerous drives. I mean, he was electric tonight. Jake Conover really connecting with him. I mean, that really stood out because, again, they're a run-oriented team. But having that connection with him and his number one guy, I think, really helped out in this win.
Well, that's how a run-oriented offense has to work these days. You have to be able to throw enough to back the defense off, and they have to respect the pass in order for the run to work. And really, Larson ran well. Messina had his moves. Conover throwing and running the ball himself that made plays. So it's really an all-around team win, at least offensively for the Panthers.
We will find out Sunday, presumably, who Snohomish will play next week once the seeding is determined for the 16 teams that will compete in the 3A state tournaments. Again, Snohomish, first time in 11 years, they qualified for the state tournament. Joey Hammer making his impact for his home school he attended. The big state qualifying appearance. Just his short time here as the Snohomish head coach, as a first-year head coach. I mean, Luke, to make that impact as a first-year head coach
at your alma mater.
At your alma mater, how meaningful is that in particular? I mean, find your rhythm immediately from the get-go.
It's huge. And speaking of awesome, we have our player of the game here, our Adrenaline Sports player of the game, Mekhi Williams.
And we got
Mekhi
here with us. And Mekhi, you had a tremendous impact tonight with a couple key catches, with run after the catch, and 2 40-yard plus catches tonight. And talk about what helped you find your rhythm tonight with Jake Conover.
Well, to be honest, it's my last time with the senior this year. I had the ball out for him. I had to show what I got. And I had the ball. I had to. The last thing I had to do.
And talk about how meaningful it is. This is the first time in 11 years you guys are going to the state tournament, and how meaningful it's been for Joey Hammer in his first year to be able to accomplish this feat. It's a tall order to fill, and you guys were able to fill it tonight.
It's honestly record-breaking. Like, we haven't gone in so long, and it feels so good. It's my first year up here, and it just feels great to actually be able to go on out of the first round of the playoffs.
Well, where are you from, first of all?
Snohomish.
Oh,
right here.
Is it your first year playing football, though?
No.
Okay. It's his first year here. First of all, congratulations. You're going to state. As the game went on, with kind of the back and forth, what was said on the sideline, especially late in the game when you guys started double teaming Jordan, their big receiver? What was said by the coaching staff before that?
He just said for one of our outside linebackers, take away inside. I play over the top, make sure he doesn't get anything else.
And with the offense executing the way it is, just how good does it feel knowing that you don't have to be perfect on defense, knowing that you guys are capable of putting up 40 points on just about anybody?
It feels pretty good. It's more of a relaxing feeling. It's like we don't have to score every drive because we know if our defense is going to do it. But even if our defense doesn't do it, offense is going to come out and ball. We're going to score again.
It seems like we talk about them every week, and Tyler Larson and Tyler Messina, where they make such a huge impact for your guys' team. And talk about what it's been like for them to open up the pass game for you guys with what they did tonight, where Larson was bruising his way towards the end zone on that last touchdown. That was a thriller right there. And yeah, talk about how that's been impactful for you guys in the passing game.
Since they're such great runners, everyone keys down on them. I hear their coaches on the sideline yelling, key 22, key 21. They all key him. So that opens up double passes. That opens up the short stuff, even the deep stuff, opens it all up.
And when you guys find out Sunday, what's that moment going to be like to, Sunday or Monday, if it happens even later, what's it going to be like, that moment for you guys to find out your opponent and getting ready? Is there going to be some butterflies, or is it just going to be, let's get it going, let's put our foot on the gas pedal and really make a run?
It's going to gas pedal. We can't stop. We can't stop now. We can't stop reaching for the top. That mountain is way up there. We'll never stop going for it.
There you go. Well,
right.
We got a T-shirt for you to honor you for your performance tonight as the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. Mekhi Williams making such an impact tonight for the Snohomish offense, and even, frankly, the defense, too, with what he was able to do as the cornerback. But, again, what you did offensively I'm sure you reached over the century mark as far as 100 yards tonight receiving with a couple big catches. And Snohomish, for the first time in 11 years, qualifying for the state tournament with a big win here on their home turf at Veterans Memorial Stadium, winning 42-35 against the Garfield Bulldogs. And that'll about do it for us here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. On behalf of our producer, Todd Elvig, our guest right here, Mekhi Williams, and Luke Winsor, my broadcast partner, I'm David Gillespie saying so long from Snohomish, Washington. You've been watching the Week 10 playoff here on STSPN.